Good morning, students. My name is Shreya Singh, your English educator for the MBA Booster Batch. I welcome you all to today's session. We are going to start a new topic of vocabulary today, that is antonyms. Antonyms are words that are opposite in meaning, words that have contrasting meanings, or we can also think of them as having dissimilar meanings. जैसे synonyms में we read words with similar meanings, same meanings. In the same way, we are going to study antonyms who have opposite meanings. हिंदी में antonyms को कहते हैं विलोम शब्द. Antonyms are used to show clear and precise meaning of the text and to sort of explain what the text is trying to say. For example, let's start with very easy antonyms. Hot, cold, rich, poor, light, heavy, tall, short, young, old. These are extremely common antonyms that we must have heard and know. But there are also complementary antonyms who are enough to establish the state. For example, alive and dead. These are also antonyms, but these are complementary antonyms, right? So let us immediately move on to the questions, because as you know, as I've told you in the previous lectures, that you're gonna get your antonyms in the exact similar way. You're gonna get a word and you will get 4 options of it, and you will have to choose one right answer. Now there is no right answer per se, but you have to choose the most accurate, most appropriate answer as the question has asked. Let's look at the first word. The first word for the day is timid. Word number 1 is timid. If you remember, timid is one of the words, was one of the options actually that we did in, I believe, lecture 1 of synonyms. And timid was the synonym of what word? Timid was the synonym of the word cowardice. Cowardice meant someone who lacks courage, and so did timid. Timid also refers to as someone, as an individual who lacks courage, who is not very courageous. So the correct antonym, the opposite word of timid, would be bold. That is correct. Option C, bold, will be the right antonym for timid. Fearful. Fearful is the synonym of timid. It is definitely not the opposite word of it, right? So we wouldn't mark fearful, tasteless, busy. These are all irrelevant. So bold here fits the right choice. Next word, ancient. Ancient means old, historic, not new. So the correct antonym for ancient is recent. पुराना का एंटोनिम क्या होगा? नया. Next word is idle. It is not IDOL वाला idle, which is someone that you look up to. IDOL वो वाला idle नहीं है, ये IDLE है, खाली वाला idle. Idle means someone who wastes their time, does nothing, sits idly. समय व्यर्थ करने वाला व्यक्ति, खाली रहने वाला व्यक्ति, उसको क्या कहते हैं? आइडल. ही इज सिटिंग आइडल, ही इज नॉट डूइंग एनीथिंग. So the correct antonym here would be efficient. Someone who does their work in a very proper way and on time is someone who is efficient. So idle ka opposite is efficient. Now if you look at option A is hardly working. प्लीज़ डोंट कन्फ्यूज़ इट विद हार्ड वर्किंग. हार्ड वर्किंग तो होता है मेहनती इंसान जो बहुत मेहनत कर रहा हो. दिस इज़ हार्डली वर्किंग, जो शायद ही कोई काम करता हो. तो ये तो बिल्कुल, यही तो मतलब हो गया आइडल का. आइडल का मतलब यही तो है कि जो कुछ काम नहीं करता, जो शायद ही थोड़ा बहुत काम करता होगा, पूरा टाइम खाली बैठ के टाइम वेस्ट करता है. तो इसका एंटोनिम क्या होगा? इसका एंटोनिम होगा बी, एफिशिएंट. नेक्स्ट वर्ड, एडमोनिशन. Admonition means to reprimand, to warn someone. So the antonym of admonition, warning, is the synonym. Threat is also the synonym. Fear is also the synonym. Request, विनती करना, विनती करना ये तो बिल्कुल एंटोनिम है, ये तो बिल्कुल ऑपोजिट कह रहा है. एडमोनिशन का मतलब वार्निंग, थ्रेट, फियर डेफिनेटली होता है, लेकिन रिक्वेस्ट करना तो नहीं होता है. तो ये इसका एंटोनिम ऑपोजिट वर्ड बन जाएगा. नेक्स्ट वर्ड नंबर 5, सैंक्टिटी. सैंक्टिटी मीन्स होली, सेक्रेड, पायस, रिलीजियस. हिंदी में कहते हैं पवित्र, सेक्रेड प्लेसेस, पवित्र जगह हैं. तो सैंक्टिटी मीन्स समथिंग दैट इज होली, sacred. So the correct option here would be C, unlawfulness. Next word, disastrous. Disastrous को हिंदी में कहते हैं विनाशकारी. For example, if I say earthquakes are disastrous. Earthquakes are disastrous. They are damage causing. So disastrous का opposite, it's very evident. A, constructive. Constructive. एक तरफ आप डैमेज की बात कर रहे हैं और दूसरी तरफ आप बात कर रहे हैं कंस्ट्रक्शन की. सो दीज आर ऑल, दीज वर्ड्स आर एंटोनिम्स ऑफ ईच अदर. नेक्स्ट वर्ड, कंसिस्टेंसी. कंसिस्टेंसी मीन्स रेगुलरिटी, डूइंग अ पर्टिकुलर थिंग और एन एक्टिविटी ओवर एंड ओवर अगेन, बीइंग कंसिस्टेंट इन योर एक्शंस. Stability, harmony, defective, no, no, no. So the correct antonym is inconsistency. In is a negative prefix. जिस भी चीज़ के आगे in लग जाए वो उस वर्ड का एंटोनिम बन जाता है. ये भी एक तरीका है अगर याद करने का. इफ़ द वर्ड इज सेम, कंडीशन यहाँ पे ये होनी चाहिए कि शब्द वही होना चाहिए. जैसे कंसिस्टेंसी है और इनकंसिस्टेंसी है, आगे क्या लगा है? इन. तो द प्रीफिक्स इन डिनोट्स antonymous words. Word number 8, sluggish. Sluggish. Sluggish means susti. Sluggish means sust. Sorry, my bad. Sluggish means sust. Sluggishness means susti. Sluggish means sust. Sluggishness means susti. कोई इंसान बहुत सुस्त हो, लेजी हो, लेथार्जी से भरा हो, दैट इज कॉल्ड एज अ स्लगिश पर्सन. सो द करेक्ट ऑप्शन हियर वुड बी A, promptness. Someone who is very prompt and active in their actions. This is the correct antonym of sluggish. Next word is accomplished. Accomplished is to achieve, to complete. हिंदी में कहते हैं पूरा करना. इन्होंने वो चीज़ पूरी कर ली. He managed to accomplish that task. So the correct antonym here would be unfinished. If you're not able to finish something, you've not accomplished it. You have not accomplished it. It still remains unaccomplished. Un, in, these are all negative prefixes. ये प्रीफिक्स जब आगे लग जाते हैं तो वर्ड एंटोनिम बन जाता है. अगर यहाँ पे अकम्प्लिश्ड की जगह अनअकम्प्लिश्ड होता है, UN, unaccomplished, then that also would have been an antonym only. So the correct option here would be D, unfinished. Next word, confident. Confident is someone who is very sure of himself. He believes in himself. उसको बहुत श्योरिटी है, बहुत विश्वास है अपने ऊपर. Is someone who is confident. So the correct antonym is option C, timid. Timid, someone who lacks courage, someone who is not very confident in himself. जो आत्मविश्वासी नहीं है वो क्या है? वो डरपोक है, उसको अपने ऊपर विश्वास नहीं है, भरोसा नहीं है. That is someone who is next word, exterior. Exterior. Exterior means bahari. Bahari. XEXX is the prefix for out. बाहर की साइड होने को कहते हैं exterior. Interior on the opposite hand, in means inside. In here is not being used as a prefix but also to show the location. In का मतलब होता है inside. जैसे होता है ना इनसाइड, INSIDE, मतलब अंदर की तरफ. आउटसाइड, आउट मीन्स बाहर की तरफ. सो दैट आउट, OUT, आउट इज ऑल्सो can also be replaced with the prefix of ex, exterior and interior. So the correct antonym here would be interior. Next word is dull. Dull is someone who is low, who is not very bright. That is someone who is dull. So the correct antonym of dull is bright. Someone who is very bright, who is very smart, is the opposite of dull. Word number 13, religious. Religious को हिंदी में कहते हैं धार्मिक. अपने धर्म पे विश्वास करने वाले को कहते हैं धार्मिक. इसका करेक्ट एंटोनिम है ऑप्शन डी, एथिस्ट. एथिस्ट is someone who is a non-believer of God, and what they practice is known as atheism. Someone who has no belief in the existence of God, जिसको ईश्वर पे विश्वास नहीं होता, उसको कहते हैं एथिस्ट. नास्तिक, हिंदी में कहते हैं नास्तिक. इंग्लिश में कहा जाता है ही इज़ एन एथिस्ट. ही डजंट बिलीव इन द एग्जिस्टेंस ऑफ गॉड, एंड व्हाट द प्रैक्टिस इज एथिज्म. एथिज्म इज द प्रैक्टिस, इज द हैबिट ऑफ नॉट बिलीविंग इन गॉड. It is the belief of not believing in God, right? So the correct antonym of religious would be option D, atheist. Next, acquittal. Next word is acquittal. Acquittal. First try to understand what the meaning of acquit is, right? Acquit means to be declared as not guilty. हिंदी में कहते हैं बाइज्जत बरी कर देना. The act of not acquitting someone and declaring them as not guilty, declaring them free of any charge, is called acquit. To acquit someone. अगर आपको किसी जुर्म के लिए सज़ा दे दी गई हो, उसको कहते हैं he has been convicted of the crime. Someone who has not been convicted is called acquitted. He has been acquitted. He has been let go in the case. तो अब समझिए एक्विटल का क्या मतलब होता है. एक्विटल इज द वर्डिक्ट. इट इज़ द वर्डिक्ट, इट इज़ द जजमेंट wherein a person is declared not guilty. It is the verdict, it is the judgment which is passed on to declare someone as free of charge, to declare someone not guilty and to be let go by the court, right? So the correct antonym of acquittal is punishment. Option C, punishment. Why so? Because someone who has not been acquitted, जिसको acquit नहीं किया गया है, अभी मैंने बताया जिसको acquit नहीं किया गया उसको क्या किया गया, उसको convict किया गया है. Someone who has not been acquitted has been convicted, and once you are convicted of the crime, if it has been proven against you that you have committed the crime, what are you given? You're given a punishment. You're given a serving. You're given a punishment by the court. So if you're not acquitted, then you are convicted, and if you're convicted, then you're given a punishment. So therefore the correct antonym of acquittal would be option C, punishment, right? Let's move on to word number 15 of the day, that is sage. Sage means a knowledgeable person. Sage is someone who is filled with wisdom and knowledge. ज्ञान का भंडार. इसीलिए पहले के ऋषि मुनियों को कहा जाता था sages. Sages who used to meditate. And someone who does not possess wisdom, who is not knowledgeable, is a fool. Snob means an arrogant person. Egoist is also an arrogant person. Rogue is someone who is rough. Option C, fool, is the correct antonym of sage. जिसके पास दिमाग नहीं है, जिसके पास knowledge नहीं है, wisdom नहीं है, that is a fool, and that is the correct antonym of sage. नेक्स्ट वर्ड इज़ वर्ड नंबर 16, moist. Moist का मतलब होता है गीला, बट नॉट ड्रेंच्ड. ड्रेंच्ड का मतलब होता है एकदम भीग जाना पानी में. Moist का मतलब होता है हल्का गीला. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, leaves are moist in winter mornings. So when you woke up on a cold winter morning, you will And if you touch the leaves of any plant, you will see that due to the fog, जो पत्तियाँ होती हैं उसमें हल्की सी एक नमी होती है. That is what moist is, right? So the correct antonym of moist is option C, dry, सूखा. Moist जो गीला होता है उसको opposite क्या होगा? C, dry. Word number 17 is mask. Mask का मतलब होता है मुखौटा. Someone who is unmasked without a mask is exposed. Option B, exposed, is the correct antonym for the word. Next, callous. Callous means someone who is insensitive, who is very hardened in their feelings, who doesn't have much of feelings, and they are very they lack sensitivity basically. So the correct option here would be option C, sentimental. Please don't go by the options that are written at the back of the written as the answer key. Please don't go by it, because there are some answers that I figured are sort of wrong. For example, in this very word that we're solving right now, option C, sentimental, has to be the right antonym for callous. Okay, sentimental is someone who is very expressive of their feelings, and that would be the correct antonym of callous. Next word is beguile. Beguile means to charm. किसी को charm कर लेना in a very enchanting way. मोह लेना जिसको कहते हैं. That is what beguile means. So the correct antonym of beguile would be option D, persuade. Persuade means to constantly request someone, to pursue someone is what persuade means. But beguile is very organic and authentic. That happens. You don't need to go after someone, you don't need to pursue someone for the same, right? So the correct option here would be option D, persuade. Next, virtue. Virtue means someone who has high morality and high standards. And what does vice mean? Vice, which is option number D, means immoral or wicked behavior. That is what vice means. So the correct option, the correct antonym of virtue would be option number D, vice. Next word is renew. Renew. You must have I'm sure all of you must have renewed their licenses, their admit card, their library cards at some point. Renew is to make a new. Renew, make a new of something when the expiration date comes, right? So renew means to make a new. So if you analyze the options, you would realize that A, restoration, B, C, renovation, and D, replacement are all talking about bringing a new thing or developing something that was already existing in place or building a new thing, right? So these are all words with positive connotation. Restoration, renovation, replacement, all of these are towards the positive tone. But only word number B, that is ruin, is a word with negative connotation. Ruin means to destroy, means to damage, and therefore it will be the correct antonym of the word renew. Next word, genuine. Genuine is the easiest word, I believe. Genuine means someone who is very authentic. जो बहुत सच्चा हो, अच्छा हो, उसको genuine बोलते हैं. So genuine का antonym है option number D, fake. Someone who is fake is not. Someone who is unreal, who is not genuine, is called as a fake person. Word number 23, irrelevant. Irrelevant is someone, something, a topic, or it could be anything which is not of great importance. It is not related to what is being said or talked about. For example, if people are discussing about international affairs and you start talking about let's say chemistry or biology, even though you are trying to be a part of discussion, but that will be highly relevant to what is being discussed. People are discussing about international affairs and here you are talking about biology, right? It wouldn't make any sense at that particular time. So that is what is called as irrelevant. It is not relevant to what is being talked about. It is not of great importance as of now. So the option is very much visible here. It is option A, relevant. Irrelevant को antonym हो जाएगा relevant. Something which is significant, which is of great importance. So the correct option here would be A, relevant. Next word for the day is 24, ugly. Ugly means someone who is not very pleasant looking, something which is not pleasant to look at. So the correct antonym is good looking. Someone who is very pleasant looking, very handsome, very beautiful is a good looking person. Option B, good looking. Next word is grand. Grand means lavish. Grand, grandeur, lavish, extravagant, these are all synonymous in nature. Great, noble, aristocratic, no. The correct option here would be B, tiny. Tiny means small, minute, minuscule. That is the correct antonym of grand. Next word for the day is cautiously. Cautiously means carefully. Carefully, ध्यान से, सावधानी से, अच्छे से किसी चीज़ को करना, पूरा ध्यान लगा के उसको कहते हैं cautiously. Be very cautious while investing in mutual funds, while investing in the share market, right? Read all the terms related documents very carefully. तो ध्यान से, सावधानी से किसी चीज़ को करने को कहते हैं being very cautious while doing the act. So the correct option here would be A, carelessly, something which is done without care. लापरवाही से करना, किसी भी चीज़ को, किसी भी काम को लापरवाही से करना, that is called being not conscious of what is done. Next word is word number 27, which is reluctant. Reluctant means uninterested, disinterested, without your willingness. I am reluctant to go to the club. मुझे क्लबिंग पसंद नहीं है, मुझे बाहर नहीं अच्छा लगता जाना. So therefore when my friends ask me out to go out and party with them, I am reluctant to do so. That means I am hesitant to do so. I am not interested. I am unwilling. मेरा मन नहीं है, मेरी इच्छा नहीं है. To be reluctant of doing something. So the correct option is option C, willing. Willing का मतलब होता है इच्छा से करना, खुशी से करना. They are willing to do this. They are willing to go out to clubbing with me, right? So the correct antonym for reluctant is willing. Someone who is willing is someone who is interested. Next word for the day is word number 28, false. False is an easy word. False means incorrect, inaccurate, as it is mentioned. Incorrect, inaccurate are synonyms of false. So the antonym means opposite word, would be C, true. False का option होता है true. अच्छा, I've often heard students say that they get confused in synonyms and antonyms, meaning that they know that one of them means पर्यायवाची शब्द and one of them means विलोम शब्द, but they often confuse the two. Synonyms में विलोम लिख के चले आते हैं और antonyms में पर्यायवाची लिख के चले आते हैं, thinking that they are interchanged in their head and they get it very confused while in the examination. So a trick for that, something that I used to practice when I was very very new at English, was if you just think about it like that, कि antonyms अ से opposite, not the letter A but the sound of a. अ से एंटोनिम, अ से अपोजिट, एंड जो बच गया सिनोनिम, उसको तो आप पता ही चल जाएगा कि पर्यायवाची है। बस आप एक चीज़ याद कर लो दोनों में से कि किसका क्या मतलब होता है, तो आपको दूसरी चीज़ एकदम आसान लगेगी। इफ़ यू रिमेंबर कि एंटोनिम का मतलब ऑपोजिट होता है, तब तो आपको याद ही रहेगा कि सिनोनिम का मतलब पर्यायवाची होता है। तो अ से एंटोनिम, अ से अपोजिट, वेरी क्लियर, वेरी वेरी क्लियर। अ से एंटोनिम, अ से अपोजिट, और जो बच गया वो पर्यायवाची है। सिनोनिम, सिनोनिम मीन्स पर्यायवाची। तो अ से एंटोनिम, अ से अपोजिट, very easy. I hope you'll remember. Okay. Okay, then that is it for today's class. I will see you in the next lecture. I hope you revise and solve all of these 28 words that we did in today's lecture, and I'll see you next time. Okay? Okay, bye bye. Good morning, students. My name is Shreya Singh, your English educator for the MBA Booster Batch. I welcome you all to today's session. This is lecture number 2 of antonyms. Please see lecture 1 if you haven't. In lecture 1 we discussed what antonyms are and where they're used. Antonyms I'll revise for you all. Antonyms are words that are opposite in meaning, that have contrasting meanings. आपने पढ़ा ही होगा, आपको पता ही होगा, हिंदी में कहते हैं विलोम शब्द. In lecture number 1 we did till word number 28, which is false. And you can find this PDF. I've uploaded it on my portal. The name of the PDF is Vocab and Grammar Full. Page number 44, you will find antonyms from where we are doing these questions. Right? Let us move on to the first word for the day, which is word number 29, condemn. Condemn means to criticize someone, and not just criticize in a normal way, but criticize harshly, in a way that is very hurtful. Criticize harshly is the meaning of condemn. Now, if you're not criticizing someone, you might be praising them, you might be welcoming them, you might be welcoming their ideas, you might be praising them, and that is exactly what the meaning of condemn, and that is exactly what the antonym of condemn is, which is option number B, worship. Let's go to word number 30, which is aggressive. Word number 30 is aggressive. Aggressive is someone who is a little loud and extremely expressive with their emotions, which sometimes emotions can get the best of an aggressive individual. Aggressive people are assertive, dominant, that is a few of their character traits. So if you look at the options, assertive, yes. Proud, yes. Confident. Confident is not necessarily associated with aggressive, but sometimes when people are expressing their opinions while believing in themselves, they might get a little too carried away with their emotions and become aggressive and loud. So of course all these three words, option A, B and D, are the synonyms of aggressive. Synonyms means paryayvachi. So option C here, which is timid. Timid is someone who lacks courage, who is not very courageous, who is coward, which should be the correct antonym of aggressive. Word number 31 is liberal. Liberal are people who are open minded, who are not very rigid in their thought process, who are not very rigid when it comes to accepting new ideas and new beliefs. They are not orthodox, they're not traditional people. Liberal mindset is referred to as a more open and inclusive mentality. People are more open minded, people are more accepting, people are more inclusive and are not strict. Liberal also means someone who spends very generously. अगर कोई बहुत ही खुले हाथों से पैसे खर्च करता हो उसको भी कहते हैं ही इज़ अ वेरी लिबरल, ही इज़ अ वेरी जेनरस पर्सन। ये बात मैंने आपको ऑप्शंस देखने के बाद बताई। ऐसा क्यों? बिकॉज इफ़ यू लुक एट दी ऑप्शंस, मैं आपको लेक्चर 1 जो सिनोनिम्स का हमने लेक्चर 1 किया था वहाँ से मैं आपको ये बताती आ रही हूँ, यू डोंट हैव टू चूज़ द राइट ऑप्शन, यू हैव टू चूज़ द बेस्ट ऑप्शन। अगर आप इन चारों ऑप्शंस को एनालाइज करें, यू विल रियलाइज दैट टॉलरेंट, प्रोग्रेसिव एंड एडुकेटेड आर द सिनोनिम्स ऑफ लिबरल। लिबरल का ये सब सिनोनिमस टर्म्स हैं। समवन हु इज़ टॉलरेंट, समवन हु इज़ एजुकेटेड, जो जितना ज़्यादा जो एजुकेटेड होगा वो उतना ही ज़्यादा लिबरल होगा। ऑफ कोर्स एक्सेप्शंस आर ऑलवेज देयर, बट जो जितना ही कम एजुकेटेड है वो उतना ही रूढ़िवादी सोच में ज़्यादा बिलीव करता है, वो उतना ही खुले विचारों का नहीं है। और प्रोग्रेसिव का मतलब भी होता है समवन हु इज़ लिबरल, जो लिबरल होगा वो सबके आइडियाज़ को फैसिलिटेट करेगा, तो इवेंचुअली इकोनॉमी में जब सबके आइडियाज़ को केटर किया जाएगा, इट विल देन बिकम अ वेरी प्रोग्रेसिव इकोनॉमी, राइट। सो अगर आप ऑप्शंस देखें तो ऑप्शन नंबर डी, माइजर, माइजर विच मीन्स कंजूस, विच इज़ नॉट एग्जैक्टली द मीनिंग ऑफ लिबरल, but if you think of liberal as someone who is extremely generous, who spends very generously, then that would fit the correct answer. The correct antonym of liberal here would be miser, but of course remember what I explained about liberal. Liberal means someone who is very open minded, who is very clear in their thought process, and who is not very strict. Next word is adversity. Adversity, word number 32, adversity. Adversity means, first listen to what adverse is. Adverse is to live in difficult conditions, to live in situations that are not in your favor. Unfavorable situations को कहते हैं adverse situations. So if you're living in situations that are difficult, unpleasant, hard to live in, those are known as adverse situation. And if you've been, and that condition of being in an adverse position is known as adversity. That condition is known as adversity. To live in a situation that is difficult and unpleasant, that is known as adversity. So the correct, the most appropriate, I believe I should stop saying correct and I should start saying the most appropriate option, because there are very many antonyms here जिनका आपको correct antonym तो नहीं मिल पाएगा, but आपको एक appropriate antonym जो होना चाहिए वो मिल जाएगा. I'm just taking a 10-second water break. I really need water. So the most appropriate antonym here would be, look at the options. A, mishap का मतलब होता है कुछ गलती हो जाना, ऊपर नीचे हो जाना. Failure, no. Mediocrity can be a synonym of adversity, even though mediocrity is a much better condition than adversity, but चलो ठीक है. Look at option number C, misfortune. Misfortune means bad luck. I was misfortunate. मेरी किस्मत ही ख़राब थी. Adversity has nothing to do with good luck, bad luck. That is not what adversity really means. So misfortune would be the antonym here. Word number 33, distinguish. Distinguish means to be able to differentiate, अलग अलग कर पाना. I can distinguish between all shades of blue. मुझे हर ब्लू के शेड में फ़र्क पता चलता है. मैं हर ब्लू के शेड को समझ पाता हूँ. ब्लू के तो कम से कम कुछ नहीं तो 20-30 शेड्स हैं. If you think there are only light blue and dark blue, you're very wrong. There are more than 20 shades of blue. You just need to increase the intensity of colors and you will see a different shade each time. So distinguish means to be able to differentiate, to have the quality of being able to differentiate between things. So the correct antonym here would be option number B, to confuse. If you're not able to differentiate, that means you are able to, if you're not able to distinguish, then you're most probably confusing the choices. So the correct antonym of distinguish would be option number B, confuse. Word number 34, moisture. Moisture, I explained you, it was, I think we did moist. Uh, anyway, moisture means nami. तो इसका करेक्ट मोस्ट एप्रोप्रिएट एंटोनिम वुड बी ऑप्शन नंबर ए, ड्राइनेस. ड्राइनेस मतलब सूखा, सूखा होना. Word number 35, counsel. Counsel means advice in a more formal setting, in a more formal way, but counsel means to advise someone. जैसे स्कूल में होते थे ना काउंसलर, तो उसमें काउंसलर की स्पेलिंग क्या होती थी? COUNSELLOR. Counselor is someone who counsels us, and we found most of these counselors in schools, right? And please don't confuse it with council. COUNCIL. Council is very different. Council is a group of people who are appointed for a special purpose in decision making, right? वो होते हैं council. That is not what this council COUNSEL means. Council means to advise. Word number 36 is audacious. Audacious. Audacious, I believe, is not always used in a very positive connotation. It is sometimes also used in a negative connotation where people are questioned of their audacity. How dare he? How did he have the audacity to talk to me like that? Right? You must have had some audacity to talk to me like that, to talk to me in such a disrespectful way, right? So, audacity is associated with a very negative connotation. Audacity means daring. Audacious means someone who is daring, someone who is bold, someone who is very outspoken, is someone who is audacious. So audacious ka antonym would be option number D, cowardly. Cowardly. Word number 37 is sight. Sight, CITE. It is not SIGHT. Sight means to see. That is not what sight is. This sight is with a C, CITE. Sight means to quote someone or give an example from an author's writing, from a paragraph, from any book that you have to quote. To basically give an example. That is what sight means. Sight means to, if you're giving an example, you're giving due credit. If you are quoting someone of their work, if you're giving the rightful credit of what someone deserves, then you're quoting them. And if you're quoting them, then you're giving them the due credit. And if you're giving them credit, then you have displayed that this work has been adapted, that this particular paragraph, this particular line, this particular quote has been taken from someone or somewhere. So if you've quoted someone, then you have nothing to hide, you have nothing to conceal, right? So cite का antonym would be to conceal, to not disclose the source of information, to not disclose where the information has been gathered from, is what the antonym of cite would mean. Next word is chaos. Chaos. Chaos means a state, a situation where the state is in utter confusion, it is in disturbance. That is what chaos means. Chaos means a total state of confusion, of disturbance within the area, within the people. Option number C, disturb, that would be the synonym of chaos. So the correct antonym here would be A, symmetric. Symmetric means everything that is in order, everything which is in order in a system, in a proper setting. That is what symmetric means. And I've heard a lot of people call it chaos. The CH here is pronounced as K. इंग्लिश में सेम लेटर्स का प्रोनाउंसिएशन डिफरेंट कॉन्टेक्स्ट में बहुत डिफरेंट डिफरेंट होता है ना. सो आप CHAOS को चेओस नहीं बोलेंगे, केओस बोलेंगे. CHAOS is pronounced as chaos. Next word is word number 39, which is affluent. Affluent is someone who is rich, wealthy. Affluent is always used in terms of wealth. For example, the Ambanis are affluent people, meaning that they have a lot of wealth with them. They are rich. Affluent is mostly used with wealth. So the correct antonym is quite evident here. It is option number B, poor. Next word is reluctant. Reluctant is unwilling to do something, not interested, disinterested, unwilling. That is what reluctant means. I believe there are very many words that are repeated in this PDF, but it's no problem. We'll just go over it again. There is no harm in going over through words again and brushing up our memories, brushing up what we read. So reluctant means unwilling, disinterested. So the correct antonym would be A, agreeable, unwilling, unenthusiastic, disinterested. All of these are synonyms of reluctant. The correct antonym would be A, agreeable. Word number 41 is calm. Calm means calm, composed, pious, शांत. काम का मतलब होता है शांत. CALM. It is not KAAM, काम वाला काम. It is CALM, calm. So the correct antonym of calm is uncomfortable. Because if you look at the other options, A, B and D, relaxed, easy and cozy, these are all synonyms of calm. Only the word uncomfortable here means that someone who is not in a very comfortable state, is not in a very peaceful state, and that is exactly what the antonym of calm would be. Word number 42, extinct. Extinct means which is no longer present, no longer relevant, not presently relevant. For example, dinosaurs are extinct animals. They were there, they were very much there, but they are not present as of now. Let's look at the options. Option A is useless, B irrelevant, D unimportant. A, B and D looks synonymous to me. Option number C, obscure. Obscure, I'm sure some of you might not know the meaning of what obscure is. Obscure means uncertain, something which is not certain and it is not clearly understandable. It is not clearly decodable, it is not understandable, and it is unclear and uncertain in its meaning. That is what obscure means. So the most appropriate antonym of extinct here would be option number C, obscure. Why so? Because extinct means someone something that was previously present but is not present anymore, and that is exactly what extinct means. And obscure means something which is not clearly understandable, something that is vague, something that is uncertain. That is what obscure means. So here the most appropriate antonym would be C, obscure. Word number 43 is significant. Significant is something that is important, that is relevant, that is crucial, vital. That is what significant means. And the antonym here would be option number D, something which is unimportant. That is what significant का antonym would be. Word number 44, extravagant. Extravagant means grand, lavish. Extravagant is mostly used for lifestyle. They are living an extravagant lifestyle. They are splurging all their money. They are living this extravagant lifestyle and this lavish life that they are living, this grand life. And someone who lives by their means, or someone who is not very affluent, is what? Is a miser, is a poor. So if you are not living an extravagant lifestyle, इसका एंटोनिम क्या होगा? जो गरीबी में रह रहा हो. एक जो बहुत ऐशो आराम में रह रहा हो, उसका ऑपोजिट क्या होगा? जो गरीबी में रह रहा हो. So the correct antonym would be A, miserly. Word 45 is applaud. Applaud means to praise. Laud, L-A-U-D, the word laud means to compliment. And applaud means to praise, to compliment, to flatter someone. The options are not very clearly printed. I'll just read it for you. A is request, B is criticize, C is pray, and D is flatter. So word number B, which is criticize, is what the antonym of applaud would be. If you're not complimenting someone, if you're not praising someone, then you're criticizing someone. That is what the antonym of applaud would be. Word number 46. Word 46 means excessive. Abundant means excessive, in large quantities. Having a lot of something is what abundance means. If you have a lot of supplies of anything, you would say that I am living in the abundance of this particular item. To have enough of, to have in large quantities, to have excessive of anything is what abundant means. So the correct antonym would be, the most appropriate antonym would be option number B, minute. Minute, minuscule, means having in small, insignificant quantities. Having in less, minor, small, insignificant quantities of anything is what the antonym of abundant would be. Next we move on to word number 47. Word 47 is thrive. What do you think thrive means? I'm thriving. What does that mean? Thrive means to prosper, to flourish. Thrive also means to survive, but not in a very surviving way, but in a more prospering and flourishing way. That is what thrive means. And if you're not thriving, if you're not living the life, then you might be deteriorating. So the correct antonym of thrive would be option number D, deteriorate. Deteriorate means downfall, decrease in the standard. That is what deteriorate essentially would mean, and that is also the correct antonym for thrive. Economize. Economize is very much related to economical. Someone who lives a very economical life tries to save a lot. जैसे middle class people are often referred to as economical people. People who save a lot of money, they cut down on resources, try to save every penny that they can. That is what economical means. So economical means not to use a lot of, not to live a life of leisure, but use of what is necessary, and try to save a lot, not to splurge. That is what economize also means. So reduce is a synonym, save is also a synonym, minimize, cut down on, reduce the usage of, that is what also economize means. Expensive, option number D, that is the synonym of economize. Word 49, gruesome. Gruesome means horrific. Gruesome I have particularly heard for these murders and all, because when you see a crime documentary, it is often said that there was a gruesome murder that took place in this area. So gruesome means horrific, Daravna. That is what gruesome means. So the correct antonym would be option number A, pleasant, soothing. That is the correct antonym. Word 50. 50 is an easy word. That is doubt. Doubt को हिंदी में सीधी भाषा में बोलेंगे शक. That is what doubt means. So the correct option would be believe. Belief की जगह believe होता तो ज़्यादा better होता. But doubt का opposite would be belief. Word 51. Triumph. Triumph means victory, vijay, achievement. That is what triumph means. And the correct antonym here would be failure. To not be able to succeed in your undertakings would be the most appropriate antonym of triumph. Word number 52. Outstanding. Outstanding means remarkable, behtareen. You gave an outstanding performance at the marathon yesterday. Behtareen performance. That is what outstanding means. What do you think the antonym would be? Admirable, notorious, interesting, not included. Let's skip this one. I'll get back to you on this. Let's move on to the next word. I'm not sure how not included should be the answer should be the antonym of outstanding. I don't really understand how. Let's move on to the next word. Word 53. Voluminous. Voluminous means having a lot of space inside, having a lot of volume. Voluminous you must have heard in terms of these hair ads also. Long, no, that is not voluminous. Is shining, loud, these are not. Sleek. Sleek means slim, thin. That is the correct antonym of voluminous. Word number 54. Homely. Homely is referred to as someone who likes and enjoys the comfort of being at their house, who enjoys the comfort of being at their own home, is referred to as a homely person. Someone who doesn't like to go out that much and wants to chill within the boundaries of their own home is a homely person. And the correct option here would be option number B, outgoing. We completed 50, how many? 54 words in today's lecture. I will see you tomorrow and we'll complete the rest of the words and the lecture as well. Please revise the previous words if you haven't. Please go see the previous lectures in case you haven't. I hope these lectures help you in your preparation journey, and I can only assist you in this journey of preparation. All the hard work, all the efforts are going to be yours, and you have to work extremely hard given that your papers are so close. And I just wish you the best of luck, and I am here if you have any doubts, if you have any questions. I'll be here to address it. I'll be more than happy to. And thank you so much. I will see you tomorrow. Hello, good morning everyone. My name is Shreya Singh, your English educator for the MBA Booster Batch. I welcome you all to today's session. Today is lecture number 3 of antonyms. Please see the previous 2 lectures if you haven't. And in today's lecture, we're gonna complete the rest of the words, and we'll also summarize antonyms. As it was explained in the previous lectures, antonyms are words which have contrasting meanings. Words that are not similar, words having dissimilar meanings are known as antonyms. Antonyms को हिंदी में कहते हैं विलोम शब्द, विपरीतार्थी शब्द, जिसके अर्थ विपरीत हों, opposites हों. हिंदी में इसको बोलते हैं विलोम शब्द. That is what antonyms are. So if you've seen the previous lectures, lecture 1 and lecture 2 of antonyms, you would know that we have completed till word number 54 in those lectures. The last word that we did in the last lecture was homely. Homely is someone who likes to stay at the comfort of their house, who likes to stay inside their house and is not very outgoing, is referred to as an homely person. Continuing with today's lectures, let's move on to the first word of today, which is word number 55, extravagant. Extravagant means grand, grandeur, lavish. That is what extravagant means. The options are expensive, thrifty, unlimited, proud. Expensive, unlimited, and proud are synonyms of extravagant. These are not antonyms. Thrifty. Thrifty is someone who is very economical. If you remember, we did this word economize. Economize is someone who spends as much as is necessary. They save a lot. People who save a lot are known as thrifty individuals, जिसको पैसे बचाने की आदत हो. So if you're not living that extravagant large lifestyle, what you are living, you're living a thrifty lifestyle where you're living by your means, where you're not a spendthrift. जो बहुत खर्चीला व्यक्ति होता है उसको कहते हैं spendthrift, someone who spends a lot. So if you're not living that life of luxury, of grandeur, then you are a thrifty person. So the correct antonym, the most appropriate antonym of extravagant is option number B, thrifty. Next word is cruel. Cruel. Cruel means someone who is harsh, someone who is inhumane. That is what cruel essentially means. So harsh, inhumane, these are all the synonyms of cruel. Let's look at the option once. The option is indifferent, merciful, dreadful, hateful. Indifferent. Indifferent is someone who is not affected much by happenings. अगर आपके इर्द गिर्द कुछ भी हो रहा है एंड दैट इज़ नॉट इन्वोकिंग सम इमोशन इन यू, उससे आपको कोई कुछ फील नहीं हो रहा है, तो कहा जाएगा दैट यू आर इनडिफरेंट टू द इंटायर सिचुएशन, यू आर इनडिफरेंट टू वॉट इज़ हैपनिंग अराउंड यू, यू आर इनडिफरेंट टू योर सराउंडिंग्स. ऑप्शन सी इज़ ड्रेडफुल. ड्रेडफुल इज़ समवन हु इज़ फियर्ड, जिससे डरा जाता है. एंड हेटफुल इज़ समवन who is filled with hate. He gave a very hateful speech. So the speech that he gave was filled with hate, words that incite hate. That is what hateful means. So if you look at it, indifferent, dreadful and hateful are synonyms of cruel in a way. Whereas option number B, which is merciful, merciful का मतलब होता है दयावान, जिसके अंदर दया की भावना हो, दयालु. That is what merciful means. So the antonym of cruel would be option number B, merciful. Next word is word number 57, marvelous. Marvelous means extraordinary, great. There's this series on Amazon Prime also, I don't know if you've seen it, Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. So Mrs. Maisel, the series started off with Mrs. Maisel living a very normal lifestyle of a housewife, and she later turns into this very great comedian. That was one of her things. She didn't really know that journey while she was a housewife, but once she divorced her husband, she went on to become a very great comedian. So the series is about Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. So marvelous means extraordinary, someone who's extraordinary, who's great, who's outstanding. So the antonym would be option number D, shabby. Pleasing, charming, attractive, these are synonymous in a way of marvelous. But shabby means someone who is not very well put together. If you're not wearing proper iron clothes, then what is it called? Look at them, they are so shabbily dressed. If you are not putting on nice, neat, clean clothes, then you would be referred to as someone who is dressed very shabbily. So marvelous, the correct antonym is option number D, shabby. Word number 58, transmit. ट्रांसमिट का सीधा सा सरल मतलब होता है टू पास ऑन फ्रॉम वन इंडिविजुअल टू अनदर. ट्रांसमिट इज मोस्टली यूज्ड इन कॉन्टेक्स्ट ऑफ अ डिजीज, दैट दिस इज अ ट्रांसमिटेबल, दिस इज अ communicable disease which can be passed from one individual to another individual. And there news information is also transmitted through television, through TV shows, radio. So if you look at option number A, show is to display. B, reply, that is not what antonym of transport would be. D, televise is also to display, to show. So televise and show would be the synonyms of transmit. But if you look at option number C, withhold is to stop from spreading, रोक के रखना. withhold, रोक के रखने को कहते हैं withholding. So the antonym of transmit would be option number C, withhold. Next word is eloquent. Eloquent is someone who is fluent and is able to express their ideas very well. Someone who is extremely articulate and well put together, who is able to put across their ideas and the thought process, is someone who is referred to as an eloquent person. Inarticulate is someone who is not able to put together a good speech. जो ठीक से ना बोल पाता हो उसको कहते हैं इनआर्टिकुलेट. क्लियर का मतलब होता है क्लियर, ट्रांसपेरेंट, साफ शुद्ध शब्दों में. लूसिड इज द एबिलिटी टू बी क्लियरली अंडरस्टैंडेबल. समथिंग दैट इज क्लियरली अंडरस्टैंडेबल इज रिफर्ड टू एज लूसिड. Then option number D is coherent. Coherent means something that is consistent logically and it is extremely to the point. मतलब इधर उधर की बात ना करके, इधर उधर की बकवास ना करके, सीधा concise, to the point and extremely logical text को कहते हैं. This is a coherent paragraph. It consists all the logical and important points that were supposed to be covered. So what do you think the antonym of eloquent would be? Eloquent means to be able to put across their ideas very well, to be extremely articulate, to be extremely lucid, clear and coherent. So the antonym would be inarticulate. Someone who is not able to put together a good, decent sentence to be able to convey their meaning is someone who is inarticulate. Next word is word number 60, communicate. Communicate is an easy word. I'm sure all of you know what it means. Communicate is the ability to be able to express yourself through words or actions. Communication can be verbal or non-verbal. तो अगर आप शब्दों के थ्रू बता रहे हैं तो that becomes a verbal communication. And if you're explaining through your actions, then that becomes a non-verbal communication. So communicate is to express or put forth your idea. Animate, mobile, open, all of these are methods. Animation, mobile, these are methods to be able to text or display. Open means someone who is very open to discussing, खुला हुआ. But impassive is someone who doesn't show their emotion, someone who is not very expressive in their own way, and someone who doesn't show their emotions is known as an impassive individual. So the correct antonym of communicate would be option number A, impassive. Word 61 is stripped. Stripped is to take off completely. Stripped, it is used mostly in sense of clothes. When you take off all your clothes or you are being made to take off all your clothes, then that is known as stripped. For example, you must have heard in news channels that the convict was stripped off at the time of confession. That's how badly he was beaten by the police, that he was stripped off all his clothes. So stripped is to make the surface bare, bare, That is what striped is. And this is not striped, it's stripped. So here the correct antonym of stripped would be option number A, covered, ढके रहना. Because naked means to take off completely. Exposed also means the same. Unclothed, without clothes, that is also what stripped means. So the correct antonym would be A, covered. Word 62, revealed. Revealed का मतलब होता है बता देना, जाहिर कर देना, रिवील कर देना, जो भेद था उसको खोल देना. That is what revealed means. So the correct antonym of reveal would be option number C, concealed. Conceal, correct. कंसील का मतलब होता है छुपाए रहना. रिवील का मतलब होता है बता देना. कंसील का मतलब होता है छुपाए रहना. नेक्स्ट वर्ड इज वर्ड नंबर 63, buried. Buried is especially used for dead bodies. Buried मतलब दफना देना. To hide under the ground, to cover it inside the ground is what buried means. So buried is used mostly for dead bodies. Buried का option antonym would be obscured, hidden, marked, no. But the correct antonym of buried would be option number A, shown. If something is buried, then it is hidden inside the surface of the earth. It is not visible. It is concealed. But shown means to be able to see. So that would be the antonym of buried. Word 64 is display. Display means दर्शाना, दिखाना, clearly visible होना. So display का antonym होगा exhibit, demonstrate, show. Exhibit, demonstrate और show ये तो सब antonym हो जाएंगे display के. Exhibit means to show a certain characteristic of. Show का मतलब भी show. Demonstrate का मतलब भी होता है दर्शाना, प्रदर्शित करना. So the correct antonym would be option number D, conceal. Conceal का मतलब होता है छुपाए रहना, to make something hidden, to not be disclosed, to not be displayed. That is what concealed means. Just a second, I'll take a water break. It is a reminder for you as well to stay hydrated. Drink your water every 15 to 20 minutes. Have a sip of water. Word number 65, imprecision. Imprecision. I'm sure a lot of you know what the meaning of the word precision is. Precision means something that is very very accurate, नपा तुला हुआ हो. बहुत ही प्रिसिशन के साथ, बहुत ही एक्यूरेसी के साथ उन्होंने जो काम किया, that was very precise work. And if you add the prefix of imprecision, then the meaning of the word becomes something that lacks accuracy. The ability to not be accurate, to not be precise in doing or undertaking the activity is known as imprecision. Accuracy का कम होना, that is imprecision. So if you look at the options, wrong means wrong, galat. Mistake means a wrongdoing. And erroneous means full of errors. Erroneous, the meaning of the word erroneous is something that is full of errors. The word erroneous comes from errors. So the correct antonym would be option number A, accuracy. Imprecision का मतलब होता है lack of accuracy. So the correct antonym here would be option A, accuracy. Word number 66, error. Error का मतलब होता है गलती. Fallacy means fault, faulty. Impropriety, unsuitability. These are all the synonyms of error. But if you see at option number D, correctness, it is the clear antonym of error. जहाँ एक तरफ गलती है तो वहाँ एक तरफ सही काम भी है. So that will become the antonym of error. Word number 67, setback. Setback means to be taken aback, to get shocked, to be taken aback. I had a setback after hearing the news of his demise. सेटबैक का मतलब होता है धक्का लग जाना, कुछ सुन के, कुछ आपने ऐसा सुन लिया, कुछ आपने ऐसा देखा कि यू वर टेकन अबैक. धक्का लगने को कहते हैं हैविंग अ सेटबैक. द ऑप्शंस हियर आर बोनस, मिसफॉर्च्यून, शॉक, अपसेट. If you look at the options, word number B, misfortune. Misfortune means bad luck. Shock का मतलब होता है stunned, to get stunned. And upset का मतलब होता है परेशान हो जाना. तो इसका करेक्ट एंटोनिम वुड बी ऑप्शन नंबर ए, बोनस. Word number A, bonus, would be the correct antonym of this. Word number 68, assist. Assist means to help, to support someone, to guide someone. That is what assist means. Assist means to guide someone, to support someone, to aid someone, to help someone in their need. That is what assist means. So if you look at the options, aid, help, facilitate means help and support. That is what assisting means. But if you look at option number C, hinder means to hinder means a blockage, and that is what the correct antonym of assist would be. Word 69, prevent. Prevent का मतलब होता है रोकना, something that stops. That is what prevent means. So the correct option of prevent would be to permit, to allow. Word 70, destruction. Destruction means damage, to destroy something, to damage someone, to damage something, तहस नहस कर देना. That is what destruction means. So the correct antonym of destruction would be option number A, preservation. संभाल के रखना, संजो के रखना, to preserve something. That is what the correct antonym of destruction would be. Word 61, spoil. Spoil essentially means to decrease the quality of something. किसी चीज़ की क्वालिटी को गिरा देने को कहते हैं spoil. You spoiled my dress. If for example, you were at a party and you spilled some cold drink on someone's dress, then what would they say? They would say that you spoiled my dress. Spoil means to damage, खराब कर देना, quality को deteriorate कर देना. That is what spoil means. Word 71, spoil. The antonym would be option number A, improve. किसी की क्वालिटी को बढ़ा देना. That is what the correct antonym of spoil would be. Word 72, enhance. Enhance is to increase the quality of, to improve something, to better something, to advance something from, to advance something further, to increase. That is what enhance means. So boost, increase, advance, these are all synonyms of enhance. But if you look at option number C, damage is the clear antonym of enhance, and therefore it would be the antonym of the word enhance. Word number 73, union. Union means joining or combining. इंटीग्रेशन हो, किसी चीज़ की जॉइनिंग हो या कॉम्बिनेशन हो, कंबाइनिंग हो, दैट process is known as the union. Marriage is also referred to as a union of two individuals. So the correct antonym here would be option number A, which is separation. क्योंकि आप देखिए combination means combining. Combination is the process of combining two or more things. Merger is when two or merger is a term which is used in with regards to companies. When two or more companies are joined together, that process is known as merger and amalgamation. Both of these words mean the same thing, the same process of joining. And blending is also referred to as the process of mixing two or more things, whereas there is only one word, separation, here, which means the disintegration or the disjoining or the separation of things. So therefore that would become the correct antonym of the word union. Word number 74, strengthen. Strengthen means टू मेक इट स्ट्रॉन्ग. किसी चीज़ को मजबूत करने को, मजबूती देने को, मजबूत करने को, दैट इज़ वॉट द मीनिंग ऑफ द वर्ड स्ट्रेंथन इज. स्ट्रेंथन इज टू मेक समथिंग एक्सट्रीमली स्ट्रॉन्ग. So the correct antonym of the word would be B, debilitate. Debilitate means to weaken. कमज़ोर करने को कहते हैं debilitate. Word 75, magnify. Magnify means to zoom करना. And when you zoom something, you increase the size of it. आप zoom करते हैं, magnify करते हैं, then the size of the thing increases. So that is what magnify here means. So the correct antonym of magnify would be to reduce. Option number C, reduce. That is the correct antonym of the word magnify. With this, we completed all the 75 antonyms. I request you all to please go through these lectures again, revise every single word, ask me any doubts if you have, and please also solve the past year papers of English, right? If you have any sort of doubts, feel free to comment those doubts and I'll answer them for you. And your exams are very, very close. I'm sure you know that your exams are happening somewhere between 20th to 25th of July, so there's not many days that are with us. We have probably, I would say, a lump sum of 30, 35, 40 days with us, and out of these 30 days, the last 5 to 6 days are only going to be your practice days. You will only be required to practice in the last 5 days. You do not need to watch any lectures or solve any paper. You just need to give mocks. These lectures that I'm providing you are for you to be able to boost your performance. These are not full-fledged lectures. These lectures are curated only for the purpose of fast-track revision, right? So I hope you take these lectures in that spirit and you put in those extra hours. There's those extra hours that are required for you to be able to ace the examination. If you rely only on these lectures, it's not going to help you in the long run. Trust me. There are very many students who take the help, take the support, take the aid of the lectures, but are also putting in those extra hours, putting in those extra hard work, right? And you need to do the same, not just for yourself, but for your family, because they would want to see you as an MBA graduate. They would want you to get enrolled in Lucknow University. It is Lucknow University, and especially the old campus, Lumba, which is called. You have no idea the immense amount of knowledge that you're going to gain from your mentors and even your peers. Everything that the campus of Lucknow University has to provide, I want you all to taste it. I want you all to be able to experience what the old campus of Lucknow University actually provides. And it will be very, very beneficial for you if you refer to these lectures, definitely, but also keep working hard. And on that note, I'm ending today's lecture, but I'll see you all in the very next lecture. Until then, bye bye, take care, study hard, keep working hard, and you shall get what you want. Bye bye. A very good morning to students. My name is Shreya Singh, your English educator for the MBA Booster Batch. I welcome you all to today's session. Students, in today's lecture, we're going to be starting with a new topic of vocab, which is idioms and phrases, right? So, we'll begin with discussing what idioms and phrases essentially mean. Idioms are words and short sentences which have figurative meanings. They don't have a literal meaning. The words are to be taken figuratively and not by their literal meanings. They cannot be taken in their literal sense. जो लिखा है वो ही उसका मतलब नहीं है. You have to understand what the word is trying to say. Idioms are used to make paragraphs more interesting to read. Right? If you present the readers with same boring straightforward lines, they're not gonna enjoy it as much. पढ़ने में वो बात नहीं आएगी, उतना इंटरेस्टिंग नहीं लगेगा. तो इसलिए इडियम्स और फ्रेजेस का इस्तेमाल किया जाता है. इडियम्स को हिंदी में कहते हैं मुहावरे. मुहावरे तो आप सबको पता ही होंगे, आपने सुने भी होंगे. कई मुहावरे होते हैं बहुत कॉमन वाले. अंगूठा दिखाना, अपना उल्लू सीधा करना, जिसकी लाठी उसकी भैंस. तो इस मुहावरे का मतलब ये नहीं होता कि उल्लू को सीधा कर दिया. अपना उल्लू सीधा करने का मतलब होता है कि अपना मतलब निकलवाना, अपना काम निकलवाना. ये उस मुहावरे का मतलब होता है. तो सिमिलरली इंग्लिश में भी जब आप इडियम्स पढ़ेंगे तो जो वर्ड लिखा है वो उसका डायरेक्ट मीनिंग वो नहीं होगा, बट उसका एक हिडन मीनिंग होगा जो हम पढ़ेंगे. Now talking about phrases, phrases are short sentences. You cannot really call them a sentence because it lacks a subject and a verb. Phrases are essentially small groups of words. It is a unit of a sentence but not a complete sentence. I'm repeating again, phrases are not complete sentences because the main difference between idioms and phrases is idioms, unlike phrases, phrases do not have a figurative meaning. Phrases are straight and to the point and have to be taken in their literal sense. जो लिखा है वही उसका मतलब है. So phrases is not a complete sentence because it does not have a subject. जो topic है, जो विषय है, वो phrases में नहीं होता है. और verb, क्रिया, activity, that is also not present in a phrase, which makes it not a complete sentence. So how we're going to go about this lecture is we are going to discuss some words. Right, we'll discuss words in one lecture and then simultaneously we'll be solving questions. We're not gonna practice after the end of it. I don't associate with the approach of doing all the words first and then solving the questions later. That doesn't sit well with me. So how I am going to take you all with is we're going to discuss the words, we're going to solve the questions, and that's how we go about it. I sort of believe in practicing along the way instead of doing all the practicing at the end, because if you practice along the way, that ensures better retention. At least that's what I believe in. So let's just start with the words. So you're seeing there are some idioms and phrases mentioned on the left side, and then on the right side their meanings are mentioned. So we're gonna go word by word and I'll be very slow and I'll be explaining you every single word and what every single idiom and what it means in detail. So the first idiom for today is the alpha and omega, and the meaning of it is beginning and end. So this idiom is taken from Christianity, right? This idiom comes from the Greek language. So when you study Greek alphabets, you will realize the first letter of the Greek alphabet is alpha. Alpha is the first letter of Greek alphabet and omega is the last letter of Greek alphabet. So when you say alpha and omega, you're talking about the complete thing from beginning to the end, the entirety, the total. That is what alpha and omega means. Alpha and omega means beginning and end. And I also told you the origin. It is taken from Greek alphabet series, and it refers to Jesus. The next idiom is to mind one's p's and q's. To mind one's p's and q's is an expression which means to be accurate and to be precise, but also to be polite. It means to mind your own language and manners. P's and Q's here essentially means to mind your language and to be on your best behavior. To also mind your manners is what to mind your P's and Q's means. To be accurate, precise, to the point, polite. These are the meaning of this idiom. The next idiom is to rise from the ranks. To rise from the ranks here means to rise from a position that was with very little to no authority, and then you rise to a position with a lot of authority and gain more power as you go up the ranks. Rise up the ranks मतलब रैंक का बढ़ना. सो व्हेन यू टॉकिंग अबाउट इट इन द जॉब एस्पेक्ट, जब आपकी रैंक बढ़ती है किसी डिपार्टमेंट में, सो योर अथॉरिटी इंक्रीजेज, योर पावर इंक्रीजेज, योर रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी इंक्रीजेज, एंड एट द सेम टाइम योर सैलरी, पर्क्स एंड ऑल ऑफ दोज थिंग्स इंक्रीज. So to rise from the ranks means to rise to a position of power and authority from a position that was very low in the hierarchy. बहुत ही नीचे स्तर से ऊपर पहुंच जाने को कहते हैं to rise from the ranks. The next word is a feather in one's cap. A feather in one's cap means an achievement to be proud of. If you have accomplished anything in your life that you can be extremely proud of, or that people are proud of that thing, then you can refer it to as being a feather in your own cap. कि उसको कहते हैं, लिटरल सेंस में इसको नहीं लेंगे कि कैप में फेदर लग गया, बट एसेंशियली व्हाट हैपेंड वाज इन प्रीवियस डेज पीपल who had achieved a lot in terms of their academics, उनको बैजेस दिए जाते थे, बैज दिया जाता था. स्कूल में भी होता था मॉनिटर, प्रीफेक्ट, ऑल ऑफ दोज थिंग्स. तो उनको बैज दिया जाता था. तो पहले क्या होता था, जिसकी फेदर में पंख लगता था, रेड पंख meant that you are a good shooter, then there was blue feather, green feather, all of these feathers were put in your cap to show your excellence in an activity. किसी भी एक्टिविटी में अगर आप बहुत ही एक्सेलेंट हैं तो उसको रिप्रेजेंट करने के लिए फेदर होता था. आज उसी चीज़ को बैचेस में कन्वर्ट कर दिया गया है, बैच दिया जाता है. या कई स्कूल्स में कोड्स होते हैं कि ग्रीन कोड्स आर द वंस हु आर very very intellectual and among the top scoring students. Then we have blue coats, red coat, ये सब schools में होता है. तो a feather in one's cap means an achievement that you can be proud of, an honor that you are proud of. The next idiom is to cut one's coat according to one's cloth. It means to live within one's means. What does that mean, to live within your means? It means to live a frugal life. Frugal, F-R-U-G-A-L. To live a very frugal, thrifty, economical. If you've seen the previous lectures, you would know that frugal, thrifty, economical are all synonymous terms, right? All of these means to live a life of mediocrity, to not spend a lot, to not live extravagantly. So to cut one's coat according to one's cloth means to live without spending more. Only spend on what is necessary and spend on things that you can afford. One should do as much as they are capable to do with the limited money that they have. That is what this idiom means. The next word is to grease a person's palm. So this is a very easy one. To grease a person's palm is हाथ को गीला करना. But does that what it means? No, it's not what it means. To grease a person's palm means to bribe someone, to give bribe to someone. हिंदी में कहते हैं ना कि मैम काम करने के लिए तो कुछ खर्चा पानी लगेगा, तो खर्चा पानी को ही हिंदी में कहते हैं कि किसी को रिश्वत देना, ब्राइब करना. टू गिव मनी इन एक्सचेंज फॉर अ वर्क टू बी डन. अगर आपको कोई काम करवाना है देन यू विल हैव टू गिव सम मनी टू ब्राइब समवन, राइट? दैट इज़ व्हाट इट मीन्स. The next word is to keep the ball rolling. To keep the ball rolling means to continue the work. कि जो बॉल घूम रही है उसको घूमने दो. इसका मतलब होता है to not lose momentum, to maintain the momentum of the activity, to continue the activity or the process that is being undertaken. जो चल रहा है उसको चलने दो, मतलब जो काम कर रहे हो वो करते रहो. To continue the work. The next idiom is to fight tooth and nail. To fight tooth and nail means to engage in a combat, लड़ाई करना. ठीक है, इसका मीनिंग लिखा है to make all efforts to win. करेक्ट. लड़ाई करना अपनी पूरी ताकत से. मैंने क्या बोला कि इसका मतलब होता है लड़ाई करना अपनी पूरी ताकत से, अपनी पूरी शक्ति से. इस चीज़ को दिमाग में रख कर that you have to win. So when you fight to win, there are very many chances that you might win. अगर आप सिर्फ लड़ने के लिए लड़ रहे हैं तो शायद आप जीत नहीं पाएंगे, right? But if you're fighting to win, then you put all of your efforts into the situation. Like you put all your resources, your available resources, and you put all your efforts into that combat. So if you're using every available means to ensure that you win, that means to fight tooth and nail. ठीक है. Tooth and nail here only signifies कि बहुत ही मेहनत से लड़ना, सब कुछ एक कर देना जीतने के लिए, कि हमको जीतना है तो जीतना है. वही बात है. The next word idiom is, I keep saying the next word but it is not word, it is idiom. I hope you understand. I'm still stuck on synonyms and antonyms where I kept saying the next word is, the next word is. So I keep correcting myself. The next idiom is to make an ass of oneself. The meaning is to act foolishly. It is quite clear with the meaning. To make an ass of oneself means to behave in a way that makes you look foolish, that makes you look stupid, right? So if you're acting foolishly in front of people, then that means that last night in the party I got so drunk and made an ass of myself. मतलब कि I got so drunk in the party last night कि मैंने जो है बहुत ही अपने आप को मूर्ख व्यक्ति की तरह प्रदर्शित किया. I acted very foolishly and for that I'm extremely embarrassed. The next word is to make neither head nor tail of anything. So you know head and tails are the two sides of a coin. And the meaning of this idiom is to be completely baffled. Baffled, if you remember, the synonyms of baffled is confused, puzzled, unclear. These are all synonymous terms. पर्यायवाची हैं ये baffle के. Baffle का मतलब होता है confuse हो जाना, puzzle हो जाना. That is what it means. So to make neither head nor tail of anything means to not be able to understand, to be very confused because something is puzzling. बहुत ही confusion की situation है, so I'm not able to make neither head nor tail of the situation. The next idiom is once in a blue moon. Once in a blue moon आपको पता होगा, हिंदी में कहते हैं कि ईद का चांद हो गए हैं. ये तो ईद का चांद हो गए हैं, दिखते ही नहीं हैं. तो ईद का चाँद क्यों कहा जाता है? क्योंकि ईद के दिन ईद का चाँद जो है बहुत मुश्किल से दिखता है, वो बहुत आसानी से नहीं दिखता है, बिकॉज इट इज़ अ रेयर अकरेंस, राइट? So for you to understand this idiom, you have to understand what blue moon is, right? Blue moon जो होता है, blue moon is a situation of full moon, but it is the second full moon in a calendar month. अगर आपको पता होगा मून का वैक्सिंग और वेनिंग के स्टेजेस जो होते हैं, देयर इज़ ओनली वन फुल मून इन अ मंथ. हर महीने में एक फुल मंथ मून बनता है. पहले मून थोड़ा 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 होके फुल जाता है, फुल मून होता है, फिर कम 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 हो जाता है, ठीक है? तो जब एक महीने में आपको सेकंड वाला फुल मून दिख जाए, दैट इज़ व्हाट इज़ कॉल्ड एज अ ब्लू मून. कि आपको एक ही महीने में दूसरा फुल मून दिख गया, देन दैट इज़ अ ब्लू मून. एंड दैट situation of having a second full moon in a month, in a calendar month, is a very rare occurrence. It's a very very rare occurrence. So that is what it means. Once in a blue moon means a rare occurrence, कि something that doesn't happen often. कोई चीज़ जो बहुत ही rare होती हो, बहुत ही कम होती हो, that is what once in a blue moon means. So this is the meaning of the idiom. The next idiom is to take to one's heels. To take to one's heels का मतलब होता है, heels का मतलब पता है ना आपको? एड़ी पे आ जाना. एड़ी पे आ जाना. So when you're running very fast, you just run. आओ देखा ना ताओ, बस भाग रहे हैं. So to take to one's heels का मतलब होता है to run away. To run away, to run off, टू टेक अ फ्लाइट. फ़्लाइट का मतलब होता है, जहाज़ वाली फ़्लाइट की बात नहीं हो रही है यहाँ पे. टू फ्लाइट का मतलब होता है बहुत तेज़ भागना. टू रन, दैट इज़ व्हाट इट मीन्स. सो टू टेक टू वंस हील्स मीन्स टू रन अवे, भाग जाना. दैट इज़ व्हाट इट मीन्स. द नेक्स्ट इडियम इज़ टू पे लिप सर्विस टू, and the meaning of the same is to pretend to be loyal. Now you have to keep in mind that it is very very clear here that you are not essentially being loyal, but you are creating a situation of pretense. You are pretending to be loyal. You are not loyal, but you are pretending to be loyal, which means इस idiom का मतलब होता है to say that you agree with something. सिर्फ ऊपर ऊपर से कह देना. टू पे लिप सर्विस. लिप सर्विस का मतलब होता है कि हमने मुंह से तो कह दिया, बट आई एम नॉट इन सपोर्ट ऑफ द सेम. टू से दैट यू अग्री विद समथिंग, बट यू आर नॉट रियली अग्रीइंग विद इट. यू आर नॉट सपोर्टिंग इट एज यू शुड. यू आर शोइंग योर सपोर्ट, यू आर शोइंग योर अग्रीमेंट थ्रू वर्ड्स ओनली. तो लिप सर्विस का मतलब होता है यहाँ पे कि हाँ, मुंह से बोल देना. मुंह से बोल दिया हमने, ऊपर ऊपर से बस तुमको बोल दिया. एंड दैट इज़ वॉट टू पे द लिप सर्विस हियर मीन्स. बट यू आर नॉट एक्चुअली शोइंग योर सपोर्ट थ्रू योर एक्शंस. सो टू पे लिप सर्विस टू मीन्स बस मुंह से कह देना. टू प्रिटेंड टू बी लॉयल, टू से दैट यू सपोर्ट समथिंग, टू से दैट यू आर इन फेवर ऑफ इट, टू से दैट यू अग्री बट यू रियली डू नॉट. The next idiom is to pay through the nose. To pay through the nose means to pay far more than the fair price, than the actual price. किसी चीज़ का जो प्राइस होना चाहिए, जो चार्ज होना चाहिए, उससे आप जब आप बहुत ज़्यादा पे कर देते हैं, then that is what paying through the nose means. And the meaning of it is written to pay very dearly and also heavily. If you pay an excessive amount for a particular item, then you are supposed to be saying that I have paid through the nose. We paid through the nose for that expensive bag. There was a bag जिसको आप afford नहीं कर सकते थे. You were not in the position to buy that bag, but you went out of your way. You paid through your nose for you to be able to afford that bag. इट मीन्स जो भी उसका प्राइस है, जो भी उसका फेयर प्राइस है, उससे कहीं ज़्यादा एक्सपेंसिव वो था. वेन यू एंटर दीज शोरूम्स, आपको पता है देयर इज़ दिस फैंसी बैग दैट वुड कॉस्ट नॉट मोर देन 500 rupees. Like it's a 500-600 rupees bag, but just because it's a branded stuff, the mark of the brand, the tag, the logo of the brand that is printed on that bag makes it worth 5,000, 6,000, 7,000 rupees, and you know that you're not able to afford it at present. But if you go out of your way and you pay this hefty amount of 6,000 only for you to have that bag, then you are said to be paying it through your nose. The next word is to take the law into one's hands. ये तो सबको ही पता है, इसका मतलब होता है कानून को हाथ में लेना. इसका तो हिंदी मुहावरा भी बहुत ही सीधा सरल है कि कानून को हाथ में लेना. So if you take the law into your own hands, you have absolutely no regard for the law and order. You are almost disrespecting the law and order of the country. और आपने अब मैटर अपने हाथ में ले लिया है कि अब इसको मैं ही सुलझाऊंगा. It is not कोर्ट या जुडिशरी के बस में नहीं है कि वो इस मैटर को सॉल्व कर पाए. And now you have taken the responsibility to solve your own problems, and you are disrespecting the law, and that is not how it should be done. There is a proper law, judiciary, all of that is framed only to hear people's grievances, and it is not right to take law into one's own hand. But that is what this idiom means. The next idiom is between the devil and the deep sea. इसका भी हिंदी मुहावरा है, इधर कुआं उधर खाई, बताओ क्या करूँ मेरे भाई. ये तो मैंने खुद राइम कर दिया. पर द डेविल एंड डीप सी मीन्स कि both of the situation are extremely dangerous and unpleasant, and that you have to choose between one of them. So both of these situations are extremely dangerous, but you have to choose between them, and you are in a state of confused. So you are in a dilemma. You are in a state of confusion and you are in a dilemma. Dilemma means not being able to make a choice, in a state of utter confusion. तो वही है, इधर कुआं उधर खाई. So that is what between the devil and the deep sea means. The next idiom is to meet one's Waterloo, and the मीनिंग इज़ टू मीट वंस फाइनल डिफीट. अब इसका क्या मतलब हुआ, आपको इसका भी ओरिजिन समझना बहुत इम्पॉर्टेंट है. नेपोलियन तो आपको पता ही होगा. सो व्हेन नेपोलियन वाज फाइनली डिफीटेड बाय द आर्मी ऑफ ब्रिटेन in 1800 or something, so that battle happened to be called Battle of Waterloo. So that battle of Napoleon, the last battle of Napoleon, where he was defeated terribly by the army of Great Britain, that battle is known as Battle of Waterloo. So from there this idiom comes from. To meet one's Waterloo means to be defeated terribly. If you are defeated terribly, then you are supposed to be said that he was defeated by one's defeated to meet their Waterloo. The next idiom is to be on the horns of dilemma. This is also very very similar to idiom number 16 that we did here. Means to be in utter state of confusion and not being able to make a choice. To be in a fix. टू बी इन अ फिक्स का मतलब होता है, फिक्स का मतलब फिक्स नहीं हो जाना, फिक्स का मतलब होता है कन्फ्यूज्ड स्टेट में होना. टू नॉट बीइंग एबल टू मेक अ चॉइस, टू नॉट बी एबल टू मेक अ डिसीजन, दैट इज़ व्हाट दिस मीन्स. And it also means that you have to choose between situations that are unpleasant, undesirable. You want to choose neither of them, but then you have to choose one because you have to make a choice. So this is what this idiom means. The next idiom is to look for a needle in a haystack. इसको भी हिंदी में कहते हैं भूसे में सुई ढूंढने का काम है. ये तो मतलब टू सीक व्हाट इज़ इम्पॉसिबल टू फाइंड. अगर आपने देखा होगा भूसा सूखा सूखा इतना सारा होता है, अगर उसमें एक सुई खो जाए, हाउ विल यू बी एबल टू फाइंड इट. इट्स नेक्स्ट टू इम्पॉसिबल फॉर यू टू बी एबल टू फाइंड दैट, राइट. सो a task which is very difficult to do something that is almost next to impossible. That is what it means to look for needle in a haystack. To let the next idiom is to let the cat out of the bag, means to reveal a secret. When you finally reveal a secret of someone, and it is no longer concealed or hidden, and the truth is out in the public, that is what is said to be to let the cat out of the bag. आज के लिए इतना ही रखते हैं. We'll take more words in the next session. I would want you all to revise these 20 words and also do your own research. Let me know if you have more points or more examples to add on to what I teach you, and I will see you all next time. Thank you so much. Good morning, students. My name is Shreya Singh, your English educator for the MBA Booster Batch. I welcome you all to today's session. In the previous lecture, we started with idioms and phrases. I gave you a brief idea of what idioms and phrases essentially mean. Idioms को हिंदी में कहते हैं मुहावरे, जो कि एक सेंटेंस को इंटरेस्टिंग लगने के लिए, ताकि वो रीडर्स जब उसको पढ़ें तो वो सेंटेंस इंटरेस्टिंग लगे, इसलिए idioms और phrases का इस्तेमाल किया जाता है. Idioms are a unit of a sentence. Idioms are short phrases, short sentences that are to be taken in their figurative meanings and not in their literal meanings. And phrases are also a small group of words, but then the difference between idioms and phrases is that idioms have figurative meaning, whereas phrases have their literal meanings. Phrases and idioms, both of them are not complete sentences, because they cannot be complete sentences because they lack subject and verb. So that is why they are a unit of a sentence but not a complete sentence. Yeah, in yesterday's lecture we did till word number 20, I suppose, to let the cat out of the bag. That was the last word of the previous lecture. So we're going to be starting with the first word for today's lecture, which is to wash one's dirty linen in public. So what this idiom essentially means is to discuss dirty and scandalous matters of personal nature in the presence of outsiders. अगर आप पर्सनल बातें पब्लिकली बता रहे हैं जिससे कि अगले बंदे को शर्मिंदगी होगी, when you're discussing all the private problems in public where it can be seen and heard by literally everyone under the sun, then that is what means to wash one's dirty linen in public. So it is very unpleasant when people discuss about their private matters and personal matters in front of other people, and there are certain things which are supposed to be personal and private and not discussed, and if discussed they would cause a lot of embarrassment and also some sort of backlash to people who are involved. So we shouldn't wash our dirty laundry, dirty linen. Dirty linen means cloth. Linen का मतलब होता है cloth. So we should not wash our dirty laundry, dirty cloth in public. And that is it. With that, we move on to the next idiom. To be ill at ease. Ill at ease का मतलब होता है to be in bad terms with somebody. And this is as clear as it can mean. कि किसी के साथ अगर आपके रिश्ते ठीक नहीं हैं, you are on a bad terms. See, there are certain people with whom you are on good terms with. So you are on good terms with certain people, and then you are on bad terms with certain people. So if you are uncomfortable or embarrassed or not very happy in the presence of certain people, then you are on bad terms with them. So if you are worried, not relaxed, anxious, उनकी presence आपको पसंद नहीं आ रही है, then you are on bad terms clearly. So that is what it means to be in bad terms with someone. The next idiom is to be in a hornet's nest. अब इसका क्या मतलब होता है? इसका मतलब होता है to be in an unpleasant situation. If you are in a troublesome, unpleasant situation, then you are in a hornet's nest. अभी hornet क्या होती है? Hornet is अ स्टिंगिंग वैस्प, इट्स अ वैस्प, एक छोटा सा वो भुनभुनाने वाला वो जो नहीं होता, उसको हिंदी में क्या कहते हैं मुझे याद नहीं आ रहा, लेकिन वो काट ले तो आपके ऐसे वो हो जाता है, स्किन में जलन होने लगती है. सो इट्स अ स्टिंगिंग वास्प एंड इट्स लार्ज. तो उसके अगर आपने नेस्ट को छेड़ दिया या उसके नेस्ट में आप पहुंच गए तो एक भुनभुनाने की सिचुएशन तो आती रहेगी, और ऊपर से आपको खतरा भी फील होगा. यू विल फील द ट्रबल, यू विल फील द वरी. मैं आपको हॉर्नेट की फ़ोटो दिखाती हूँ. जस्ट अ सेकेंड. I saved it for y'all. This is what a hornet is. This is a hornet, right? So you're seeing this. This is a stingy wasp, and अगर ये काट ले तो आपके फिर पूरे शरीर में से जलन होने लगती है. I want my classes to be extremely interactive and not very boring. So I will keep showing you words and pictures wherever it is necessary for you to understand that word. कुछ idiom तो इसमें बहुत ही easy हैं, तो उसमें तो समझने की कोई ज़रूरत ही नहीं है. But there are certain idioms जैसे hornets, nest. So if you don't know what a hornet is, how will you know that this is a troublesome situation, this is an unpleasant situation, right? So it was important for me to show you. So I want my classes to be interactive in that way. अब ये hornet's nest आया कहाँ से? तो पहले क्या होता था, वो छोड़िए, चलिए. I've explained you enough. Hornet's nest means to be in a troublesome or a hazardous situation, a situation that is unpleasant and not very nice. The next word, the next idiom, again I keep saying word, word, but it is not word, it is an idiom. The next idiom is apple of discord. Apple of discord means cause of dispute. If you are if something is the cause, the crux, the main point, the main argument of a situation, then that is known as an apple of discord. अगर आप चीज़ों को देखें, if you look at fights and disputes and disagreements, you would realize that the cause of it is an extremely small thing. बहुत ही छोटी बातों पे कभी कभी बहुत बड़े बड़े झगड़े हो जाते हैं, राइट? सो इफ़ यू फिगर आउट व्हाट इज़ द एप्पल ऑफ डिस्कॉर्ड ऑफ द सिचुएशन, इस सिचुएशन की क्रक्स ऑफ द प्रॉब्लम क्या है, व्हाट इज़ द मैटर ऑफ डिस्प्यूट, बहुत ही वो आपको पता चलेगा बहुत ही छोटी सी बात है, पर उस पर इतनी बड़ी बड़ी लड़ाई हो गई. जैसे कि ज़मीन में बहुत होता है, द एंसेस्ट्रल प्रॉपर्टी, द ज्वेलरी, दैट बिकेम द apple of discord among the members of the family. So all of those things happen. तो apple of discord का मतलब होता है cause of dispute, cause of disagreement, कोई बहुत ही crux of the problem, main point of the argument. That is what apple of discord means. The next idiom is bell the cat. Bell the cat. Bell the cat means बिल्ली के गले में घंटी टांगना. What does that mean? That means to do the most dangerous job, to do the task that is extremely dangerous. So bell the cat means कि कोई बहुत ही ख़तरनाक काम करना, उसको कहते हैं bell the cat. Beat about the bush. The next idiom is beat about the bush. Beat about the bush means to not स्टिक टू द पॉइंट. इधर उधर की बातें करना, बातों को गोल गोल घुमाना. अगर जो भी बात करने आप आए हैं, अगर आप वो बात बोलने की बजाय फलाना ढिमकाना, चार अलग तरीके की आप बातें कर रहे हैं, तो उसको कहते हैं बीटिंग अबाउट द बुश. नॉट स्टिकिंग टू द पॉइंट, नॉट सेइंग व्हाट इज़ नेसेसरी, बहुत इधर उधर का बात करना. दैट इज़ व्हाट बीटिंग अबाउट द बुश मीन्स. टू इवेड द इशू. इवेड का मतलब होता है इग्नोर, वो बात ना करके कोई और बात करना. दैट इज़ व्हाट बीटिंग अबाउट द बुश मीन्स. द नेक्स्ट वर्ड इज़ बैग एंड बैगेज. Bag and baggage means with all your belongings, with everything that you have, सारा सामान लेकर. तो bag and baggage means completely, सब कुछ लेकर, जितनी भी आपके पास चीज़ें हैं, everything that you possess, everything that you own completely, सब कुछ लेकर, उसको कहते हैं bag and baggage. The next idiom is come out of a bandbox. What do you think this means? It means to be excessively well dressed. Now if we understand its deeper meaning, bandbox क्या होता है? Bandbox is a lightweight paste board. एक बॉक्स की तरह होता है, पतली सी लकड़ी का होता है और वो कार्डबोर्ड का होता है थोड़ा सा. उसमें आप हैट या फिर आपका जो भी सामान जो आपको कैरी करना है वो सब चीज़ें लोग पहले लेकर चलते थे. आई शो यू द बैंड बॉक्स एज वेल. जस्ट अ सेकेंड. सी, दिस इज़ अ बैंड बॉक्स. सो दिस इज़ अ बॉक्स. इसके अंदर आप हैट या आपका कोई छोटा सामान है, पर्स है, ऑल ऑफ दिस कैन बी कैरीड. सो दिस इज़ वॉट अ बैंड बॉक्स इज़. So when you say that you are out of a bandbox means that you are extremely neat and clean. मतलब आप इतने साफ़ हैं, इतने क्लीन हैं कि जैसे लगता है कि आप अभी अभी एक बैंड बॉक्स से निकले हैं. बैंड बॉक्स का मतलब क्या, एक स्टोरेज बॉक्स ही तो है, उसमें सामान ही तो रखा जाता है. तो जब आप बहुत ही साफ़ सुथरे तरीके से एक स्टोरेज बॉक्स से निकले हैं, उस तरीके के नीट, क्लीन, वेल ड्रेस्ड, वेल अटायर्ड जब आप लग रहे हैं, that is what coming out of a bandbox means. That you look so neat and so sharp that it seems like you have just come out of a bandbox. So मैंने आपको बताया bandbox का मतलब होता है, it is a, I've shown you also that it is a thin plastic board which is used to carry hats. मतलब earlier it was used, now it is not used so much because it is replaced with purses and all those things. So holding a hat and other things that you might have that you need to store, that is what bandbox was used for. The next idiom is know how many beans make 5. To know how many beans make 5. What does that mean? It means to be well informed, to be intelligent. चीज़ों के बारे में पता होना और बुद्धि होना. इंटेलिजेंस का मतलब होता है बुद्धि. To be intelligent, that is what it means to know how many beans make a 5. It means to be sensible and knowledgeable as well, and it is not only used in terms of the intelligence and the information part, but also the general common sense which is expected to be possessed by people. कि अगर आपको एक थोड़ी certain knowledge है, level of knowledge है, and then you also have common sense and the ability to make decisions, the ability to make judgments and the ability to make decisions, then you are said to know how many beans make a 5, right? The next word is hit below the belt. Hit below the belt. Hit below the belt means fight unfairly. Fight unfairly. Hit below the belt. अब इसका भी मतलब समझिए. बेल्ट के नीचे आपकी बॉडी का सबसे सेंसिटिव एरिया होता है, विच इज़ द क्रॉच एरिया, विच इज़ ऑल्सो रेफर टू एज द प्राइवेट पार्ट्स. सो इफ़ समबडी हिट्स यू देयर, यू गोना गेट एक्सट्रीमली हर्ट. बहुत ज़्यादा चोट लगेगी एंड इट विल कॉज अ लॉट ऑफ डैमेज एज वेल. सो इन अ फाइट, तो ये तो लिटरल सेंस हो गया, तो मैंने आपको बता दिया. सो इन अ फाइट वेयर यू आर यूजिंग अनफेयर मीन्स टू गेन स्ट्रैटेजिक एडवांटेज, जब भी एक लड़ाई हो रही है एंड यू आर यूजिंग अनफेयर मीन्स, कि आप बहुत ही गलत तरीके से लड़ रहे हैं, दैट मीन्स टू हिट बिलो द बेल्ट. एंड इन एन आर्ग्यूमेंट एज वेल, इट इज़ ऑल्सो यूज इन टर्म्स ऑफ आर्ग्यूमेंट. अगर किसी से आपकी लड़ाई हो रही है एंड यू आर एंड द अदर पर्सन इज स्टिकिंग टू द आर्ग्यूमेंट, वो आर्ग्यूमेंट में स्टिक हो गया, सिर्फ आर्ग्यूमेंट की बात करें कि अभी ऐसा हो गया, तुमने ऐसे क्यों किया, फिर ऐसे क्यों किया, एंड देन आउट ऑफ द ब्लू, ये देखिए मैंने वर्ड पढ़ाया था ना आपको, आउट ऑफ ब्लू मतलब बहुत ही एकदम सडनली यू से समथिंग विच इज़ वेरी पर्सनल. आपने कोई ऐसी चीज़ कह दी जो उन्होंने बहुत पहले आपको इन प्राइवेट या इन कॉन्फिडेंशियलिटी बताई थी, जो सिर्फ आप दोनों को पता थी, एंड देन यू यूज़ इट इन एन आर्ग्यूमेंट. सो अगला बंदा क्या कहेगा, दिस वॉज अ हिट बिलो द बेल्ट. मतलब इफ़ यू आर हैविंग एन आर्ग्यूमेंट, यू स्टिक टू द आर्ग्यूमेंट. Why would you go out of your way to say something so mean and so rude and so downright rude and hurtful to someone that it would really affect them? So that is what hitting below the belt means. Hitting below the belt means कि आप prepared नहीं थे and then you were hit unfairly. You were hit where you get most hurt. बहुत ही आपको एक sensitive topic पे आपको बहुत ही तेज़ हिट कर दिया गया. दैट इज़ वॉट हिटिंग बिलो द बेल्ट मीन्स. कि लड़ाई कर रहे हो तो उसमें आपने अनफेयर एडवांटेज लिया. जो लड़ाई हो रही है आपने उसकी बात नहीं करी, उससे अलग आपने एक बहुत ही पर्सनल प्राइवेट पॉइंट उठा के उनको बोला. सो दैट वाज अ हिट बिलो द बेल्ट. एंड लिटरल सेंस में भी आई एक्सप्लेन यू दैट बेल्ट के नीचे द क्रॉच एरिया इज एक्सट्रीमली सेंसिटिव एंड व्हेन यू हिट देयर यू गोना गेट मोस्ट हर्ट. एंड आई ऑल्सो explained the figurative meaning of the idiom. So with this we complete 30 words. We've reached the 30 idiom mark. Word number 31, idiom number 31 is to kill two birds with one stone. ये भी हिंदी का एक बहुत ही कॉमन सा फ्रेज़ है कि एक तीर से दो निशाने. एक तीर से दो निशाने, हमने एक ही तीर से दो काम कर दिए. मतलब with one thing we hit two targets at the same time. इसका क्या मतलब हुआ, अचीव टू एम्स विद अ सिंगल एफर्ट. एक तरफ आपने एफर्ट किया एंड देन यू अचीव्ड टू टारगेट्स. तो दिस इज़ बोथ यूज इन अ पॉजिटिव एंड अ नेगेटिव कॉनोटेशन. अगर आपने कोई समझिए आपने किसी एक एग्ज़ाम के लिए मेहनत करी और उसके जैसे 5 एग्ज़ाम का कोर्स सेम है. जैसे समझ लीजिए कई कॉम्पिटिटिव एग्जाम्स में एप्टीट्यूड आता है, मैथ्स इंग्लिश रीजनिंग. सो इफ़ यू प्रिपेयरिंग फॉर मैथ्स इंग्लिश रीजनिंग, सिलेबस थोड़ा सा डिफरेंट होता है, बट बैंक, रेलवे, एसएससी, ऑल ऑफ दीज मोर और लेस आस्क फॉर मैथ्स इंग्लिश रीजनिंग, क्वान्टिटेटिव एप्टीट्यूड, यही सब घुमा फिरा के जनरल अवेयरनेस, यही सब चीज़ें आती हैं. सो व्हेन यू प्रिपेयर फॉर वन एग्जाम एंड यू आर एबल टू क्रैक more than one exam, what would you say? That I killed two birds with one stone. मतलब मैंने एक एग्ज़ाम के लिए तैयारी की एंड आई मैनेज टू क्रैक सो मेनी एग्ज़ाम्स. एक तो ये हो गया. दूसरी चीज़ क्या हो गई, नेगेटिव कॉनोटेशन में इसको कैसे इस्तेमाल करेंगे कि आपने कोई एक गलत काम किया, उसकी वजह से 2 टारगेट्स आपने हिट कर दिए. यू रिमूव 2 ऑब्स्टिकल्स फ्रॉम योर सिचुएशन. The next idiom is birthday suit. A birthday suit, this is also very figurative. Birthday suit means naked, bare body, without any clothing. So birthday suit का क्या मतलब होता है? This is used in a sarcastic way, in a joking way. कि when you are born, people are without any clothes. You are born in this world without clothes. राइट, कोई कपड़े पहन के तो पैदा होता नहीं है. सो एवरी वन इज़ बॉर्न विदाउट क्लोथ्स. सो दिस इज़ वॉट दिस वर्ड मीन्स कि इन अ स्टेट ऑफ टोटल नेकेडनेस एज यू वर एट द टाइम व्हेन यू वर बॉर्न. तो ये एक फ़नी वे में बोला जाता है कि जब आप पैदा हुए थे तभी भी आपने कुछ नहीं पहना था, और फिर उसके सेंस में आप इसको कहीं पे भी यूज़ कर सकते हैं जहाँ पे भी सिचुएशन में ये फिट बैठे. द नेक्स्ट ईडियम इज़ इन कोल्ड ब्लड. इन कोल्ड ब्लड, कोल्ड ब्लड को का लिटरल मीनिंग होता है ठंडा खून. ठंडा खून मतलब फिगरेटिवली कोल्ड ब्लड मीन्स in a very harsh, ruthless manner, without feeling, devoid of any feelings. So when you must have heard in documentaries that this was a cold-blooded murder. This was a cold-blooded murder. कि the murderer did not show any mercy to its victim and they slit their throat right open. So when you're cold-blooded, you are very ruthless, you are extremely ruthless and unfeeling and insensitive, and you are devoid of any emotions, you're devoid of sensitivity. So that is what cold-blooded means. So in cold blood means deliberately without heat. Without heat means without paying any attention to, in a state of emotion, in a state of unemotion. The next idiom is sweep in the board. Sweep in the board means to take everything. Now take everything here is referred to as the price. So if you are participating in the contest, in any contest, if you're participating and you win every single prize, then you are set to sweep the board. So if you win everything that is available, जितनी भी चीज़ें available हैं, then you are set to sweep the board. You just swept the board. That is what it means. The next idiom is in the same boat. This is also a very common idiom that is used so much. In the same boat का मतलब होता है एक ही नाव के सवारी, हम दोनों की सिचुएशन सेम है. इन द सेम बोट का मतलब होता है एक ही नाव की सवारी, हम दोनों की सिचुएशन एकदम सेम टू सेम है, कि जो तुम फेस कर रहे हो मैं भी वही फेस कर रहा हूँ. वी आर फेसिंग द सेम डिलेमा, वी आर इन द सेम सिचुएशन, वी आर इन द सेम पोजिशन. सो इन द सेम बोट का मतलब होता है सिमिलरली सिचुएटेड लाइक अ प्रेडिकेमेंट. मीन्स इफ़ यू से ओ माई गॉड आई हैव सो मच वर्क एंड योर फ्रेंड सेज वी आर इन द सेम बोट, मतलब आपको 5 असाइनमेंट मिले हैं और उसको भी 5 असाइनमेंट मिले हैं, तो वो क्या कहेगा, वी आर इन द सेम बोट, लाइक वी आर इन द सेम सिचुएशन. इट्स नॉट दैट आई हैव कंप्लीटेड एनी असाइनमेंट आउट ऑफ द 5 गिवन असाइनमेंट, सो वी आर इन द सेम सिचुएशन. आई एम वरिड फॉर माई असाइनमेंट्स एज मच एज यू आर. हम दोनों की सिचुएशन सेम है, हम लोग एक ही नाव के सवारी हैं. The next idiom is bolt from the blue. Bolt from the blue. Bolt from the blue means just a second. Bolt from the blue means unexpected calamity. Calamity के लिए भी ठीक है, but bolt from the blue is actually very metaphorical. Why? Because bolt का मतलब हो यहाँ पे है lightning bolt, बिजली कड़कना. That is what it means. So when a lightning bolt hits the sky, when you see lightning bolt coming from the clear sky, you get very shocked. जब बिजली कड़कती है तो आपको पता थोड़ी होता है कि कब कड़केगी, बिजली कब चमकेगी आपको नहीं पता ना. तो वो एकदम से यू सी दैट इन द स्काई एंड यू आर जस्ट सरप्राइज्ड एंड शॉक्ड, एंड दिस इज़ नॉट समथिंग दैट यू वुड एक्सपेक्ट, right? So it comes as a complete surprise, it complete shocker to you. So that is what bolt from the blue means. It means to arrive as a complete surprise, arrive unexpectedly. So it is not necessarily used for a calamity, it means unexpected outcome. That is what bolt from the blue means, unexpectedly, surprise, वैसा. The next idiom is idiom number 37, bone of contention. Bone of contention means a matter of dispute. It is sort of similar to apple of discord. इसका मतलब ये होता है कि जो बात, कोई ऐसा इशू, कोई मेन इशू, कोई डिसएग्रीमेंट जिसकी वजह से जो झगड़े का कारण बने, कोई ऐसी बात, कोई ऐसी चीज़ जो कि झगड़े का कारण बने. दैट इज़ व्हाट बोन ऑफ कंटेंशन मीन्स. The next idiom is make no bones. Make no bones is to do something willingly, to be very sure and definite about something. किसी भी चीज़ का जब आप ऑब्जेक्शन नहीं देते हैं कि हमने आई डेंट ऑब्जेक्ट टू इट, अगर आप किसी चीज़ को ऑब्जेक्ट नहीं कर रहे हैं इसका मतलब है कि आप उसको रिजेक्ट भी नहीं कर रहे हैं. दैट मीन्स यू आर एक्सेप्टिंग इट. इफ़ यू आर नॉट ऑब्जेक्टिंग दैट मीन्स यू आर नॉट रिजेक्टिंग. And if you're not rejecting, then you're definitely accepting. So if you're very sure and definite about something, then that is what it means to make no bones. That is, make no objections. Be very sure and definite about something, and that is what it means. The next word is it does not suit my book. इसका मतलब है it does not fit my arrangements. इसका मतलब है कि what have Good morning students, my name is Shreya Singh, your English educator for the MBA Booster Batch. I welcome you all to today's session. So students, as you already know that we've completed the lectures for synonym and antonyms, which are a very crucial part of your vocabulary. So I thought maybe I should take a few more lectures for the purpose of revision, for you to be able to revise some more words that weren't covered in the previous lectures. So this PDF that you see in front of you, I will upload the same so that you can refer back to it again. And the words are given in the synonyms and antonyms here are given in a tabular format. You will be able to see that there is a word starting from the very left. There is a word, and then there is the synonym of the same word, and then there is an antonym of the same word, right? So it's given in a tabular format for you to be able to learn as many words as we move along, right? So without wasting any more time, see, you can read. There is an example given of what synonyms and antonyms are, but I've explained it in very much detail in the previous lecture, so you can refer to those videos. Or you also know that synonyms are words having same or similar meaning. Sir se synonym, sir se same, a se antonym, a se opposite. So synonym are words with similar meaning. So therefore there's this example given, diligent. Diligent is someone who is extremely hardworking, who is very focused and does their work on time. So the correct synonym for diligent would be hardworking, paryayvachi. And antonyms are words with opposite meaning. So therefore the word with a contrasting meaning of brave. Brave is someone who is courageous. So the antonym would be timid, and you can read the explanation if you want to. Let us start with the first word of the lecture, which is abandon. Abandon means to give up completely. छोड़ देना उसको कहते हैं to abandon. So the synonym here is cease. Cease means to stop, and forsake means त्याग देना, छोड़ देना. This is synonym. And antonym would be to continue. छोड़ देना, जारी रखना, continue रखना. That is the antonym. The next word is abhor. The words here are given in alphabetical order. So we will first complete the words starting with letter A, then we will move on to words starting with letter B, C and D, and in the similar manner we will complete as many words as we can, okay? Next word is abhor. Abhor means deep dislike, deep hatred. If you dislike something to your very core, then that feeling is known as abhor. So the synonym which is written here is hate, loath. Loath is also deep dislike, and so does detest. And now if you're not disliking something, then you are what? You are liking that thing, you are loving that thing. So like and love become the antonym, become the opposite word of abhor. Next word is abiding. Abide means to follow, to endure, to continue. बाध्य होना, बाध्य होना उसको कहते हैं abiding. I abide by the law. That means I endure the law, I follow the law, and it is used in a permanent sort of way, that you follow the law and you shall always follow the law from your very heart. So the antonym of abiding is fleeting, temporary, for a very short span of time, for a very short period of time. That becomes the antonym of abiding. The next word is able. Able means someone who is capable, having the skills of something, being competent or being capable is what being able means. So proficiency, proficient, competent are all synonyms of able. Able का मतलब होता है योग्य होना. And the antonym would be incompetent, someone who lacks competency. Incompetent, unfit, incapable are the antonyms of able. Someone who possesses this quality. Able तो एक इंसान हो गया. And what do you call the quality? The quality is ability. Able की quality होती है ability. Someone who is able to, that means that someone has the ability. So ability means the skill, the capability, the power. So the next word in line is ability, and skill and power become the synonyms of it. And disability, inability, Incapability becomes the antonym of the word ability. Next word is abortive. Abortive का मतलब होता है बिना फल के, निष्फल. Nishfal, failing to produce the desired results is what abortive means. So abortive, as it is rightly, the synonyms are very rightly mentioned here. Fruitless, futile. Futile का मतलब होता है in vain. In vain, VAIN. And the antonyms are fruitful, successful, किसी चीज़ का हो जाना. Being able to produce the result is fruitful. That was a very fruitful decision. सही डिसीजन था जिसने आपके लिए रिजल्ट्स जनरेट किए. So the word was abortive. The synonyms are fruitless, futile, and the antonyms are fruitful and successful. Next word is abolish. Abolish का मतलब होता है to put an end to something. To put an end, समाप्त करना, ख़त्म करना किसी चीज़ को. That means to abolish. Abolish means to destroy. Undo is not the right synonym, but हटा देना. That is what abolish means. Antonym इसका क्या होगा? हटा देने का opposite रखे रहना, restore करना, revive करना. That is what the antonym of abolish would mean. Abridge. Abridge, as we also studied in the lecture of synonym, if I remember correctly, abridge means to cut short. Concise, brief, shorten, curtail. These are all synonyms of abridge. छोटा कर देना, ये मतलब होता है abridge का. And the antonym of abridge would be lengthen, expand, in detail, elaborative. ये सब antonym हो जाते हैं abridge के. तो abridge का मतलब क्या होता है? abridge का मतलब होता है छोटा कर देना, small में कर देना, concise कर देना. Next word is absolve. Absolve means dissolve का मतलब होता है घुल जाना. Absolve might sound similar to dissolve, but these are not same words. Dissolve का मतलब होता है घुल जाना, घोल देना, whereas absolve means to pardon someone, to forgive, क्षमा दे देना, क्षमा दे देना. Absolve the matter. Let us absolve the matter. मतलब मैटर को एक्सक्यूज कर दो, हटा दो, भूल जाओ, आगे बढ़ो. To forgive someone, to pardon someone, to excuse someone is called as absolving. And the antonym would be condemn. Condemn means to criticize, criticize करना, harshly criticize करना, to censure something, right? Next word is accelerate करना. Accelerate means to aggravate. उसकी intensity बढ़ाने को, जैसे हम कार में कहते हैं ना एक्सेलरेशन, एक्सेलरेट करो कार को. मतलब जब आप एक्सेलरेटर पे पुश करोगे तो गाड़ी तेज़ भागेगी, आगे भागेगी. सो टू एम्पलीफाई, टू एक्सेलरेट, टू इंक्रीज द इंटेंसिटी ऑफ समथिंग इज the synonym of accelerate. To hasten, move faster is what acceleration means. Acceleration means to increase the intensity of. And the antonym would be retard. Case means to lower the intensity of, to decrease the intensity. That is what the antonym of accelerate would be. Accord. Accord means an agreement wherein the parties involved make the decision very mutually, and the decision is that of a peaceful one. So accord means agreement, harmony, shanti. That is what accord means. And accord का antonym is discord. Discord means ashanti. Accord means shanti and discord means ashanti. Ashanti, disagreement, and disharmony would be the antonym of accord. Next word is accumulate. Accumulate is to store large quantities of. इकट्ठा करना, right? Accumulate means store करना, collect करना. Amass, amass means to gather, इकट्ठा करना, and that is also what accumulate means. So the synonym of accumulate would be collect, store, amass, इकट्ठा करना, जोड़ना. That is what accumulate means. And the antonyms would be distribute, scatter, separate, segregate. These would be the antonyms of accumulate. Next word is adamant. Adamant is someone who is very forcing. I am adamant on my decision. I am अपने decision पे मैं अड़ गया हूँ. अड़ जाना. Someone who is very rigid in their mindset and in their frame of mind. Someone who is inflexible. एंड इनफ्लेक्सिबल यहाँ पे बॉडी वाइज नहीं कहते, जैसे फ्लेक्सिबल इनफ्लेक्सिबल, ये दिस इज नॉट टॉकिंग अबाउट योर बॉडी टाइप कि आप कितने फ्लेक्सिबल हैं, योगा करते हैं नहीं, दैट इज़ नॉट व्हाट यू आर टॉकिंग अबाउट हियर. हार्ड का मतलब होता है समवन हु इज़ हार्ड इनफ्लेक्सिबल इन देयर हेड, इन देयर माइंड सेट, अक्खड़ स्वभाव को कि मैं जिद कर रहा हूँ. आई एम एडमेंट ऑन माई डिसीजन दैट आई विल नॉट चेंज माई डिसीजन जो मैंने दे दिया वो यही है और यही रहेगा. राइट, आई एम श्योर अ लॉट ऑफ योर are adamant. Adamant people are often confused with stubborn, but the words are used in very different context. But adamant का होता है अड़ जाना हिंदी में. And the antonym is someone who is flexible, easygoing, and someone who is not very rigid is what the antonym of adamant would be. The next word here is adversity. Adversity means अनफेवरेबल और अनप्लेजेंट सिचुएशन. हिंदी में कहते हैं गरीबी या कठिन समय. तो एडवर्सिटी द सिनोनिम वुड बी मिसफॉर्चून. मिसफॉर्चून also means bad luck, but I don't believe misfortune should be the right antonym, right synonym for adversity. Adversity just means pleasant or unfavorable situation. It might be due to your bad luck or it might not be due to your bad luck. That has nothing to do with your luck factor, but it is mostly the kind of situation that you are born and brought up in. Distress means stress, pareshaniyan, कठिनाइयाँ. That is the correct synonym for adversity. And the antonym for the same would be adversity का antonym is prosperity. Prosperity is flourishness, आगे बढ़ना. Acceleration, flourish, affluent are the antonyms of adversity. The next word is adept. अडेप्ट नहीं, ADAPT वो अलग वर्ड है और ADEPT ये अलग वर्ड है. अडेप्ट इज समवन हु इज़ एक्सपर्ट in something, having the desired and knowledge of something, being very skillful and capable is what adept means. And the antonym is someone who lacks the skill, who is very inexperienced in something. नूब आजकल जेंजीज कहते हैं ना, मैं भी खुद भी जेंजी हूँ, तो आजकल कहते हैं ही सच अ नूब इज समवन हु लैक्स द डिजायर्ड क्वालिटीज़. उसके पास एक्सपीरियंस नहीं है, उसके पास नॉलेज नहीं है, उसके पास उस तरीके के स्किल्स नहीं है. दैट इज समवन हु इज़ इनएप्ट. अडेप्ट का एंटोनिम आपको पता होगा कि इनएप्ट होता है, INEPT, इनएप्ट. एग्रवेट also means to increase the intensity of something, to provoke, to intensify. That is what aggravate means. His sharp words aggravated the situation. उसके तीखे शब्दों ने सिचुएशन को और भड़का दिया. Aggravate means to intensify something, to heighten something, to increase the intensity of. And the antonym for the same would be quell, suppress, दबा देना, कम करना, to decrease the intensity of. The next word is agile. Agile is the ability and the quality to be able to make fast and swift movements, to move quickly and easily, to be able to make those smooth movements. That is what agile means. The synonym is nimble, and the antonym is clumsy. Clumsy and undeft are people who are not able to walk properly. I mean, not मतलब ऐसा नहीं कि उनको चलना नहीं आता, but someone who keeps dropping things. और जैसे मूवीज़ में नहीं दिखाते हैं कि clumsy person keeps dropping things, keep banging into things, गिरता पड़ता इधर उधर. That is what a clumsy individual means. Next word is alert. Alert is someone who is very mindful of themselves as well as their surroundings. जो बहुत चौकन्ना रहता हो. Alert का मतलब होता है चौकन्ना रहना. जो बहुत चौकन्ना रहता है उसको कहते हैं alert. He is very alert. He's an alert individual. That is what alert means. And the antonym is heedless. Heedless is someone who doesn't pay heed. फ़र्क ही ना पड़ना, ध्यान ही ना देना. Oh, he didn't pay heed to what I said. उसका तो ध्यान ही नहीं था कि मैंने क्या बोला क्या नहीं बोला, उसको कोई फ़र्क ही नहीं पड़ता. That is what heedless means. The next word is allay. Allay. Allay means to calm someone down, to soothe, to assuage. Assuage and alleviate. Elevate नहीं, ELEVATE, elevate नहीं, alleviate. ALLEVIATE, alleviate means to pacify someone, to calm them down, to soothe the situation, right? So allay means to pacify, to calm, soothe, assuage. These are the synonyms of allay. The antonym would be arouse, to aggravate, भड़का देना. Arouse means situation को intensify कर देना. काम डाउन करना था, आपने उसको इंटेंसिफाई करके आपने उसको और भड़काऊ कर दिया. दैट इज़ द एंटोनिम ऑफ एले. नेक्स्ट वर्ड इज अमेलियोरेट. अमेलियोरेट. अमेलियोरेट मीन्स टू इंक्रीज द क्वालिटी ऑफ, टू इन्हांस, टू इम्प्रूव, टू एडवांस. दैट इज़ व्हाट अमेलियोरेट मीन्स. एंड द एंटोनिम फॉर द सेम इज टू डिक्रीज द क्वालिटी ऑफ. क्वालिटी को गिरा देना. वर्सन, डिटोरिएट. और अगर किसी सिचुएशन के बारे में पूछें, टू एग्रावेट द सिचुएशन को ख़राब कर देना, भड़का देना. दैट इज़ व्हाट द एंटोनिम फॉर एमेलियोरेट वुड बी. एम्बिगुअस. एम्बिगुअस का मतलब होता है अनक्लियर, वेग, बहुत ही हवाई आंसर देना. जैसे कोई पूछे कहाँ जा रहे हो, बाहर जा रहा हूँ. अरे व्हाट काइंड ऑफ आंसर इज़ दैट? ऑफकोर्स जा रहे हो तो बाहर ही जा रहे हो ना. व्हाट काइंड ऑफ एम्बिगुअस आंसर इज़ दैट? अगर कोई आपसे पूछता है कि कहाँ जा रहे हो, वेयर आर यू गोइंग, एंड यू से आई एम गोइंग आउट. ऑफ कोर्स यू आर गोइंग आउट, दैट इज़ व्हाई यू आर रेडी, राइट? सो दिस इज़ अ वेरी एम्बिगुअस आंसर. बी क्लियर विद व्हाट यू आर सेइंग. आई एम गोइंग टू द जनरल स्टोर विच इज़ नियर माई हाउस. तो ये थोड़ा स्पेसिफिक आंसर होता है. तो एम्बिगुअस का एंटोनिम इज क्लियर, प्रिसाइज. दैट इज़ द एंटोनिम. एमिएबल. Amiable and amicable are two very different words. Amicable, if you remember, we covered while covering synonyms. Amicable means friendly, but amiable means lovable, agreeable. Amiable also means sort of friendly only, but amiable is more associated with someone being lovable. एंड एंटोनिम वुड बी डिसअग्रीएबल, कि इससे तो अग्रीमेंट हो ही नहीं सकता, इससे तो इंसान डिसअग्री करता है बिकॉज ऑफ हाउ डिसअग्रीएबल ही इज़, राइट? बट एमिएबल इज समवन हु इज़ लवेबल, हु कैन बी अग्रीड विद, agreeable, has a very jolly personality. That is what an amiable individual is. And amicable is also used in, amicable is used in terms of friendship, that we settle things on amicable terms, right? Next word is annihilate. Annihilate means to destroy, to damage, तहस नहस कर देना. That is what annihilate means. And the antonym would be to restore something, to create something. किसी चीज़ को बनाने को कहते हैं to create, and that would be the antonym of annihilate. Next word in line is ardus. Arduous नहीं बोलेंगे, ardus, D-U-O-U-S को pronounce करेंगे dus. Ardus means something that is very hard, strenuous, unchangeable, right? Very rigid. That is what ardus means. So the antonym would be easy, flowy. These would be the antonyms of ardus. Next word is attack. अटैक वही अटैक है जो आपको पता है अटैक क्या होता है. अटैक का मतलब होता है असॉल्ट करना, ठीक है? हमला कर देने को कहते हैं अटैक करना, और रोकने को कहते हैं, गेम में होता है ना, आर यू इन द अटैकिंग पोजीशन और इन अ डिफेंडिंग पोजीशन. डिफेंडर अपने आप को बचाता है. डिफेंड इज़ टू प्रोटेक्ट योर सेल्फ, एंड अटैक इज़ टू हार्म समवन एल्स. अगर आप किसी को अटैक कर रहे हैं देन यू आर डूइंग इट विद द इंटेंशन ऑफ हार्मिंग देम. आपको उनको नुकसान पहुँचाना है. बट डिफेंड इज़ ओनली डन टू सेव योर सेल्फ. आपको उनको कुछ नहीं नुकसान पहुँचाना है, बस आपको खुद को बचाना है. दैट इज़ वॉट डिफेंडिंग एसेंशियली इज़, राइट? सो अटैक का सिनोनिम इज़ असॉल्ट. अटैक करना, असॉल्ट करना, हमला करना, दीज आर सिनोनिम्स. एंड टू डिफेंड इज़ द एंटोनिम. द नेक्स्ट वर्ड इज़ ऑडेसिटी. Audacity, I mentioned, audacity means the boldness, the harshness, having the guts to. Audacity का मतलब होता है having the guts to. He is such an audacious person. How could he talk to me like that? Look at his audacity. उसने देखा उसने मुझसे किस तरह बात की. That is it. That is his audacity. उसकी हिम्मत तो देखो कि उसने मुझसे इस तरह बात की. So audacity, the word is not always used in a positive connotation, but audacity का मतलब होता है having the guts to, boldness. तो ये थोड़ा सा जो है negative connotation में use होता है कि उसकी इतनी हिम्मत पड़ गई. Audacity तो देखो उसकी. So that is what audacity means. And the antonym is cowardice, timid. Cowardice is one of the words that we have covered so many times, and I remember the synonym of cowardice is timid. मतलब डरपोक होना. एक होता है boldness, having the guts to, having the courage to, और इसी audacity का antonym होता है cowardice, timid, someone who lacks courage. These are the antonyms of audacity. नेक्स्ट वर्ड इज ऑस्पिशियस. ऑस्पिशियस का मतलब होता है फेवरेबल, प्रॉपिशियस, लकी, पायस, राइट. और इसका एंटोनिम होता है ओमनियस, इनऑस्पिशियस, अनलकी. व्हेन सिचुएशंस आर नॉट इन योर फेवर, दैट इज रिफर्ड टू एज अनलकी और इनऑस्पिशियस. द नेक्स्ट वर्ड इज ऑस्टियर. ऑस्टियर मीन्स हार्श, सिवियर, स्टर्न, रिगरस. These are the antonyms of these are the synonyms of austere, and the antonyms of austere would be easygoing, flowy, right? These are the antonyms. The next word is authentic. Authentic का मतलब होता है true, genuine, real. You know, let me take you to the most authentic non-vegetarian फूड प्लेस इन लखनऊ. मतलब लखनऊ में जो सबसे ऑथेंटिक, बाकी सारी दुकानें तो बाद में खुली, बट जो सबसे पहले दुकान खुली होगी वो रियल ऑथेंटिक फ्लेवर्स लखनऊ के, जिसलिए लखनऊ जाना जाता है. लखनऊ के जो नॉन वेजिटेरियन आइटम्स हैं वो उस जगह में ऑथेंटिक चीज़ें मिलती हैं, राइट. मतलब ट्रू, जेन्युइन. जब वो दुकान खुली होगी तो तब से लेके अभी तक वो मोस्ट ऑथेंटिक फूड सर्व करती है, राइट. एंड द एंटोनिम इज स्पूरियस, फॉल्स, untrue, something that lacks genuinity. Next word is avarice. Avarice. Avarice का मतलब होता है लालच, greed. That is what avarice means. When I say this is what it means, इसका मतलब है कि मैं synonyms के बारे में बात कर रही हूँ. So avarice means greed, लालच. And the antonym for avarice would be generosity. Someone who is very generous, जो बहुत ही दयालु होता है, उसको कहते हैं generous person. और जो वो दिखाता है, जो वो अपनी दयालु प्रवृत्ति अपनी प्रेजेंट करता है, उसको कहते हैं generosity. नेक्स्ट वर्ड इज averse. averse का मतलब होता है unwilling, unwilling, disinclined, without interest, loath. Loath is a very strong word for averse, but averse का मतलब होता है strong dislike. जैसे कहें, talking about myself here, Shreya is extremely averse to change. Shreya is averse to change. Shreya को changes नहीं पसंद. Shreya doesn't like changes. Shreya is not willing to incorporate those changes in her life and becomes very panicky when there are changes in her life. So Shreya is averse to change. And dislike, unwillingness are the synonyms of averse. And the antonym for the same would be willing, inclined, desiring, इच्छुक. वो उसका एंटोनिम हो जाएगा कि someone who is willing for someone who is inclined towards change, someone who is very interested in changes. So that is change. तो मैंने आपको एग्जाम्पल में दिया था ना, इसलिए आई एम चेंज. बट आप अवर्स के साथ कोई भी कर सकते. दैट आई एम अवर्स टू नॉन वेजिटेरियन फूड. यू नो, कि मुझे वो चीज़ नहीं अच्छी लगती तो आई एम अवर्स टू दैट. averse is the feeling and aversion is what you practice. So aversion is hostility, hatred. Averse and aversion means the same thing. Base means low. Someone who is mean and downright mean to you, and someone who is extremely sort of not noble is what base means. And the antonym for the same is someone who is noble, exalted, very very highly generous man. That is what the antonym would be. So with this, I'd like to conclude today's lecture. We will be continuing the rest of the words in the coming lectures. I hope you got to know a lot from it. Let me know if you have any questions. I'll be more than happy to cater to it. And that's it for today. And I will see you tomorrow. Thank you so much. Have a great day ahead. And bye bye. Good morning, students. My name is Shreya Singh, your English educator for the MBA Booster Batch. I welcome you all to today's session. This is Synonyms Lecture 2. Please see Lecture 1 if you haven't. I have uploaded the PDF. Please refer the same. The page numbers are 41 and 42. Synonyms, as I explained in yesterday's lectures, are words having similar meaning, not same but similar. हिंदी में कहते हैं समानार्थी शब्द और पर्यायवाची भी कह सकते हैं. We'll start from where we left off yesterday. Word number 30. I think we did 30, but let's just start from there. 30th word is cowardice. Cowardice, if you remove the latter part of the word ice, you would realize that coward means someone who is not courageous, someone who lacks courage. So in other words, it can be said as a person who is timid, who is shy, who is not very confident, is a coward. Next, temperate. Temperate is often related to the weather, the climate. So temperate means something that is cooled, so something that is cool, mild, and often relates to the climate. So temperate means option B, moderate. See, you would think that if temperate means cool, why aren't we going with option number A, which is actually cool? But try to understand that cool here is written in the context of cold. कूल का यहाँ पे इस्तेमाल कोल्ड के लिए किया गया है, और हम कौन से कूल की बात कर रहे हैं? मॉडरेट, रिलैक्स्ड, माइल्ड वाले कूल की बात कर रहे हैं. वी आर नॉट टॉकिंग अबाउट कोल्ड, हॉट एंड कोल्ड वाला कोल्ड की यहाँ पे यूज़ किया गया. दैट इज़ नॉट व्हाट वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट हियर. वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट ऑप्शन बी, मॉडरेट. Only in that context is temperate used. Next word is virginity. The correct synonym for it would be option B, maidenhood. Next, antique. Antique means something that is very old, right? And there's also a condition for antique. Let me know if you know. Antique होने की एक condition होती है, क्या आपको पता है वो क्या होती है? Antique is used for artifacts, for artworks, for objects basically that are more than 100 years old. कोई 10 साल पुरानी चीज़ को एंटीक नहीं बोला जाता. एंटीक इज़ यूज्ड फॉर आर्टिकल्स, ऑब्जेक्ट्स that are more than 100 years old. So the correct option would be A, old fashioned. This was the easy one. I am sure आपको पता ही होगा. Next, insight. Insight, ये INSIGHT वाला insight, foresee, forecast वाला नहीं है. This is insight. Insight means to provoke, to encourage, to ignite. किसी चीज़ को provoke करना, भड़काना, encourage करना. So this is not used in a positive connotation. It is used in a negative connotation. So insight का correct answer है option number B, encourage. But it is not to encourage good activities. It is to encourage the wrongdoings. किसी को provoke करना, किसी को भड़काना. Next, twain. Twain is a fancier word for two. Two को fancy terms में twain कहा जाता है. So what do you think the correct option would be? What do you think the correct answer would be? The correct answer would be C, couple. Why couple? Because couple requires two individual, not necessarily a male and a female, but couple can be any two people, right? So twain, the correct synonym would be option C, couple. There's also this very famous American writer. Let me know if you've heard of him. His name is Mark Twain. He was a very famous American writer. He wrote many famous works. I'm not able to recall the name. There was this very nice novel that he wrote, Adventures of Tom Sawyer, Adventures of Huckleberry Finn. These are one of his famous writings. Um, his name was also Mark Twain. Next, trivial. Trivial. Trivial means petty, not pretty. Petty, 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 insignificant. बहुत ही छोटी, इनसिग्निफिकेंट, इनवैल्यूएबल, वैल्यूलेस चीज़ों को कहा जाता है ट्रिवियल. जैसे फॉर एग्जांपल पीपल से डोंट फाइट ऑन ट्रिवियल मैटर्स. व्हाट डज दैट मीन? छोटी छोटी बातों पे लड़ाई मत करो. सो ट्रिवियल मीन्स समथिंग विच इज़ कॉमन. कॉमन प्लेस मतलब छोटी बातें. Something which is not very important, something which is not worth the time and attention. It is extremely insignificant, right? That is what trivial means. So the correct option would be option D, commonplace. Next, zenith. Zenith means the top, the peak, the epitome of something. तो इसमें करेक्ट ऑप्शन होगा ऑप्शन डी, क्लाइमैक्स. क्लाइमैक्स कैसे? अगर आप किसी चीज़ की पीक पे पहुंच जाते हैं, फॉर एग्जांपल आप किसी स्टोरी की पीक पे पहुंच गए हैं, तो हम क्या कहते हैं कि स्टोरी का क्लाइमैक्स आने वाला है. व्हेन यू आर अप्रोचिंग टुवर्ड्स द एंड ऑफ द मूवी का एंड हमेशा उसका पीक मोमेंट होता है, क्योंकि मूवी के एंड में ज़रूर कुछ ना कुछ ऐसा होता है दैट दिस होल स्टोरी टर्न्स अराउंड, राइट? सो व्हाट डू वी से? वी हैव रीच्ड द क्लाइमैक्स ऑफ द स्टोरी, राइट? सो जेनिथ का मतलब हुआ ऑप्शन डी, क्लाइमैक्स. Next word is strumpet. Strumpet. What do you think the word strumpet means, students? Strumpet is a derogatory word. It is an insult. It is used as an insult, and it is used in a negative connotation for women who are of not a good character. They make their livelihood by selling their bodies. So the correct answer would be option B, prostitute. Next, slander. Slander. Slander means to give out a statement, to say something that might be very damaging to someone's reputation, to their image. So slander means to jeopardize, to damage someone's reputation. So the correct option would be option D, damage. Reverberate. Reverberate. So when you're standing in a room and you say something out loud, बहुत ज़ोर से आप चिल्लाते हैं और वो आवाज़ पलट के आप ही के पास आती है, when it starts echoing, when it starts reflecting back, that is known as reverberate. When the echoed voice, when the voice that you've said echoes and comes back to you, it reflects back to you, it reacts back to you, that is known as reverberate, right? So the correct answer here would be option A, reflect. Next, revitalize. Revitalize, to make something active, to rejuvenate, revitalize, vigorize. All of these are synonyms. So the correct answer is vigorize. 42. Wearisome. Wearisome, weary, as you would know, is the synonym of tired. Someone who is tired is said to be weary. कोई बहुत थक गया है तो उसको कहते हैं he is very weary, he is very tired. And wearisome is a situation where you feel the tiredness, right? So wearisome, the answer would be option D, tiresome, थक जाना. Undaunted. Undaunted तो चलो ठीक है. What do you think the word daunt means? अन का मतलब है किसी चीज़ को ऑपोजिट कर देना. जो डॉन्टेड का जो मीनिंग होगा उसके आगे अन लगा दिया तो अब वो मीनिंग बदल चुका है, राइट. सो व्हाट डू यू थिंक द वर्ड डॉन्टेड मीन्स? डॉन्टेड का क्या मतलब है? डॉन्टेड का मतलब है समवन हु इज़ स्कैरी, समवन हु स्केयर्स यू, समवन हु इंटिमिडेट्स यू इज़ डॉन्टिंग. He has a very daunting personality, he has a very scary, intimidating personality. और उसी के आगे जब अन लग गया तो उसका मतलब क्या हो गया? ही इज़, वो एक पॉजिटिव वर्ड बन गया. तो ही इज़ अ वेरी स्ट्रॉन्ग इंडिविजुअल हु इज़ नॉट डिस्करेज्ड. अगर डॉन्टिंग है तो वो आपको कोई डरा रहा है, आप डर गए. बट अगर अनडॉन्टेड है तो समवन हु इज़ वेरी वेरी स्ट्रॉन्ग in their mindset, someone who is not easily discouraged. So the correct option here would be option B, not discouraged, right. Next one, lethal. Lethal is a very common word. You must have heard it. It is often said that they've been bitten by a lethal snake. Lethal का क्या मतलब होता है? Lethal means deadly, खतरनाक. ब्रूटल का मतलब तो हार्श हो गया. इफ़ यू लुक एट ऑप्शन बी यू वुड थिंक कि डेडली भी वही है, ब्रूटल भी वही है. व्हाई नॉट यूज इट सिनोनिमसली? नो, ब्रूटल मीन्स हार्श. सो द करेक्ट ऑप्शन हियर, सी देयर इज़ नो right or wrong answers when it comes to synonyms. You have to choose the best option out of the available options, right. चारों में से जो आपका बेस्ट सूट करेगा वर्ड को, दैट इज़ द वन दैट यू हैव टू चूज़. यू डोंट हैव टू चूज़ कि one is correct and the rest are all wrong. There might be a condition, there might be a situation where all the three answers out of the four options seem probable. All the three options out of the total 4 or 5 options might seem probable कि हाँ ये भी हो सकता है, ये भी हो सकता है, ये भी हो सकता है. In that situation you have to choose the option which is most likely to be the synonym, which is the closest synonym, right. So in this context we would choose the word option C, deadly. Next, 45, I'm so sorry, 45, levitate. Levitate means to reach high, to rise, and it is mostly said that someone is rising due to their magical powers. So levitate is used in that context. And there's also this song by Dua Lipa, I'm not sure if you've heard it. The name of the song is Levitating. Ooh, I'm levitating. Yes. Next word is revamp. Revamp, you must have heard it in YouTube shorts and Instagram reels, where these people make these DIY clothes and say that let's revamp my old t-shirt, let's revamp this. Revamp means to reconstruct. जो चीज़ ऑलरेडी अवेलेबल है उसको वापस से किसी बेटर चीज़ में बनाना. जो चीज़ ऑलरेडी कंस्ट्रक्टेड है एक पर्टिकुलर फॉर्म में, उसको वापस से कंस्ट्रक्ट करने को कहते हैं रीवैम्पिंग, राइट. दैट इज़ अ रीवैम्प मॉडल. DIY इज़ व्हाट? अ रीवैम्प मॉडल. Next word, 47, is tenacious. Tenacious. Tenacious is used for someone who is very persistent, determined, someone who is very strong in their head. Tenacious is a word used in a very positive connotation. Tenacious एक positive word है. Tenacious का मतलब होता है someone who is very strong, determined, persistent. So the correct option here would be option A, tough. Tenacious is someone who is very tough, who is very strong. 48, thespian. Thespian is related to drama, is related to theatre, related to acting. Thespian is referred to as an actor or an actress. It is a gender fluid term. It can be used either for an actor or an actress as well. So the correct option here would be option B, actor. 49, venial. Venial. Venial is something that is again very trivial, insignificant, and an offense that is not very serious. अगर किसी ने कोई offense किया है, कोई crime किया है जो कि बहुत serious नहीं है, then that is termed as venial, right? तो इसका परफेक्ट सिनोनिम बनेगा यहाँ पे एक्सक्यूजेबल, समथिंग दैट कैन बी एक्सक्यूज्ड, दैट कैन बी इग्नोर्ड. अगर किसी चीज़ को एक्सक्यूज किया जा सकता है देन दैट इज़ एन इनसिग्निफिकेंट इशू ना. If it is not a serious offense, if it is a venial offense, then you can definitely ignore it. Next, stubborn. Stubborn. Stubborn को हिंदी में कहते हैं ज़िद्दी, ज़िद्दी होना. Someone who is very determined, जो अपनी बात को लेके अड़ जाता हो, जो इसको कहते हैं अक्खड़ स्वभाव का होना, कि हमने सोच लिया तो सोच लिया, ठान लिया तो ठान लिया, हमने ज़िद पकड़ ली कि करना है तो करना है. Then that individual is known as a determined person, right? So stubborn, the synonym would be option D, determined. Next, shrewd. Shrewd. Shrewd is used for someone who is quick, practical, pragmatic, chatur. Chatur, chalak. That is someone who is a shrewd individual. So the correct option here would be option B, clever. 52. 52 is a very easy one. I'm sure you know that. Applaud. Applaud means to praise someone, right? 53. Denounce. Do you remember we read this similar word in first class, which meant the meaning of which was to give up all the worldly affairs, त्याग देना. What was the word similar to this one? That's correct. Renounce. उस word का नाम था. उस word को कहते हैं renounce. Renounce means to give up, right? So what do you think denounce means? Denounce means to criticize, to condemn, to criticize. So the correct option here would be D, condemn. 54. Corroborate. Corroborate. Corroborate means to confirm. Confirm कैसे करेंगे? आप checking करेंगे, आप verification करेंगे, and then you would go ahead and confirm anything. So the correct synonym here would be to verify. Option A, verify. Serenity. Serenity means peace. It means calmness. It means peace, calmness, relaxation. That is what serenity means. So the correct synonym here would be option D, calmness. Anxiety. I'm sure each one of you know what anxiety means. People often say that I'm feeling anxious, I'm feeling tensed, I'm feeling worried, right? So anxiety, the correct synonym would be option A, worry. Accord. Accord का मतलब होता है harmony. Accord means harmony. Agreement, harmony, shanti. That is known as accord. 57 का correct option would be A, agreement. Accord का antonym बताइए चलिए. Accord, I'm sure most of you know what the antonym for accord is. That's correct. It's discord. Accord is a positive word, whereas discord is a negative word. Discord means ladai, jhagda, disagreement, dispute, disparity. That is what discord means. Discord, the essential meaning would be dispute, and accord means agreement. Next, 58. Lethal. I think we did this word somewhere. अभी तो किया ना ये? Lethal, word number 44. Yes. This word has been printed twice. Let's do this again. Lethal. Lethal we've seen it being used for snake bites. That is very lethal snake bite. That's a very lethal snake. So what does that mean? Lethal means deadly. 59. Limpid. Limpid means I've seen it being used for water. Limpid means clear, transparent, जिसके आर पार दिखता हो. It can also be used for an individual who has a very clear thought process. अगर किसी का दिमाग बहुत ही ऑर्गेनाइज्ड है, आप उसका मन पढ़ सकते हैं, तो उसको क्या कहेंगे कि ही हैज़ अ वेरी क्लियर हेड, ही इज़ वेरी क्लियर हेडेड, ही नोज हिज डायरेक्शन, ही नोज व्हाट ही इज़ डूइंग, right? And it is also used for liquids, that it is clear and transparent. So the correct answer here would be option C, transparent. Next, machination, machination, machinization, all of these means using machines instead of labor, instead of workers, right? So machination, the correct option would be A, labor saving. Labor is referred to as the workforce. The working sector of the economy is known as a labor. तो जो भी लोग मशीन्स को ऑपरेट करते हैं या इंडस्ट्रीज़ में वर्क करते हैं उनको लेबर कहते हैं. तो अगर आप जितनी जितनी मशीन्स लाते जाएंगे उतना ही मैनुअल वर्क डिक्रीज़ होता जाएगा, राइट? और जितना ही मैनुअल वर्क डिक्रीज़ होगा उतने ही आपको लेबर्स की ज़रूरत कम पड़ेगी. So here the correct option would be A, labor saving. It wouldn't be evil plot, definitely not. Engine part, machination is an engine part, no. Factory work को machination नहीं कहेंगे, फैक्ट्री में मशीन लगती है, तो मशीन का करेक्ट आंसर वुड बी A, labor saving. 61, malingering. Malingering means to fake your illness, to not go to work, to skip a work day, to be at your home, to not go to work. People often fake their illness, and that is what malingering means, right? mal, the word mal जो रूट वर्ड है ना, mal का मतलब होता है बैड. तो ये वर्ड देखते ही आपको पता चल जाना चाहिए था कि दिस मीन्स समथिंग नेगेटिव. मैल इज़ यूज्ड इन अ नेगेटिव कॉनोटेशन. जैसे किसी धूर्त व्यक्ति को कहेंगे मेलिशियस, ही इज़ अ मेलिशियस पर्सन, राइट? सो अब यहाँ पे चारों ऑप्शंस नेगेटिव कॉनोटेशन के ही हैं. सो यू वर रिक्वायर्ड टू नो द मीनिंग ऑफ दिस वर्ड फॉर यू टू बी एबल टू मार्क द करेक्ट आंसर. So please remember, malingering means to fake your illness. Feigning illness, to not go to work, is what malingering means. So the correct option here would be option B, feigning illness. Next, melee. Please be very careful. It is not pronounced as melee, जबकि इसमें डबल ई है, बट इट इज़ स्टिल नॉट प्रोनाउंस्ड एज मीली. आई हैव हर्ड सो मेनी पीपल से मीली, बट इट इज़ नॉट मीली, इट्स मेले. मेले मीन्स अ फाइट, एक डिस्कॉर्ड की सिचुएशन हो जाना जहाँ पे एक फ़ाइट हो जाए, राइट? सो फाइट का सिनोनिम क्या होता है? फाइट को फैंसियर टर्म्स में कहते हैं अ ब्रॉल, अ स्पैट बिटवीन टू पीपल, a spat among people, a brawl between people, right? So the correct answer here would be B, brawl. Molecule, I'm sure all of you know what this word means. Molecule is we've all studied that in chemistry class 9th 10th कि molecule एक element का part होता है. Atoms, molecules, I'm not very clear, I'm not a science student, but molecule is the part of an element. एक element में आते हैं molecule. So molecule is what? Molecule is a particle. 63 का correct option would be A. Next, nautical sciences. A lot of my friends took up nautical sciences after class 12th. Nautical relates to the sea, समुद्री. So nautical का मतलब होता है naval. Option C, naval. The correct answer here would be option C, naval. Next, nostalgia. ये तो सब इंस्टाग्राम पे डालते हैं हैशटैग नॉस्टैल्जिक, हैशटैग नॉस्टैल्जिया. स्कूल की फ़ोटो डाल के लिखेंगे हैशटैग दोज वर द डेज, हैशटैग नॉस्टैल्जिक. व्हाट डज दिस वर्ड मीन? Nostalgic means homesickness. It is not it is not necessarily related to home. You can feel you can feel nostalgic about any particular event a place, or even a person for that matter, right? But nostalgic is referred to as the feeling of missing someone or something or some place, right? तो यहाँ पे उस प्लेस को दिखाने के लिए यहाँ लिख दिया गया है होम, बट इट इज़ नॉट नेसेसरली दैट द प्लेस हैज़ टू बी अ होम ओनली. Nostalgic is the feeling of intense missing someone, right? So nostalgia here means option C, homesickness. Next is obtuse. Obtuse. After saying the word, I pause for like a second or two because I want you to think of the answer in your head. अगर मैं word के सीधे बाद आंसर बताने लगी तो फिर how will you get the time to think what the answer might be, right? तो ऐसा नहीं है कि मैं टाइम ले रही हूँ तो इसका मतलब है कि मुझे जल्दी जल्दी ख़त्म करना है. इसका मतलब ये है कि मैं आपको टाइम दे रही हूँ कि आप भी 2 सेकंड सोचिए और उसके बाद फिर आप मेरा आंसर सुनिए ना. Obtuse. Obtuse is we've also heard it in terms of algebra में when we were supposed to construct a triangle. So acute angle, obtuse angle, right? Angle which is more than 120 degrees known as an obtuse angle, if I'm not wrong. So obtuse means someone who is very blunt. If it is referred to in terms of a person, someone who is very blunt, someone who is very sharp is known as obtuse. Omnipotent. Omnipotent. God is referred to as an omnipotent being. God is referred to as an omnipotent being. Why? Omni means everywhere. Everywhere, all. Potent. What do you think potent means? Potent means someone who is extremely powerful. Someone who is very powerful. P से potent, P से powerful. It will be easy for you to remember, right? Someone who has unlimited power is referred to as an omnipotent being. It is used for God. That is it for today's lecture. We've completed about 67 words in 2 lectures. We shall continue to do more. I'll see you in the next lecture, okay? Thank you. Good morning, everyone. My name is Shreya Singh, your English educator for the MBA Booster Batch. I welcome you all to today's session. In the previous session of Synonyms and Antonyms Lecture 1, we revised some more words and the synonyms and antonyms of which were given in a tabular form. So you had the word, then the synonym of it, and then the antonym of it. And that is how we went on with words. So the last word of the previous lecture that we did was base. The first word of today's lecture will be from alphabet B, which is the second word of alphabet B, boisterous. Boisterous is someone who is noisy, loud, stormy, and it is often used for young boys, young individuals, for young lads. Those are some boisterous boys playing in the field, right? So these become the synonyms of boisterous. The next word, the antonym for the same is calm, quiet, composed. That would be the antonym, the opposite of the word. I'm sure you've seen the previous lectures and you know by now what synonyms and antonyms actually mean. Synonyms are the words with similar meaning, जिसको हिंदी में कहते हैं पर्यायवाची शब्द, and antonyms are the words with opposite, different or contrasting meanings. In Hindi, antonyms are known as vilom shabd. The next word is brave. Brave का मतलब होता है बहादुर. Brave is someone who is courageous, daring, bold, plucky. These words are all synonyms of brave. The antonym, the opposite of the same, would be cowardly, timid, cowardice. Cowardice is one of the words that we've repeatedly seen in all these PDFs that we did. The next word is brief. Brief means concise, short में रखना, जैसे आंसर लिखने को आता है एक्सप्लेन योर सेल्फ इन ब्रीफ, explain yourself in brief and bracket में लिखा होता है not more than 60 words. So there is not a word limit when it comes to brief. वो तो आंसर में लिखा होता है कि वो आंसर आपको कितने वर्ड्स में एक्सप्लेन करना है. But brief means short, concise, not elaborative, not in detail. That is what brief means. And the opposite of brief would be elaborated, at a length, lengthy, in detail. Those will be the antonyms of brief. The next word is bright. Bright का मतलब होता है चमकीला, shining, vivid, radiant. So the synonym of bright is vivid, radiant, shining. These are all the synonyms. And the antonym would be dull, dark, dusky. These would be the antonyms. Let's move on to the next page. The word is brutal. Brutal का मतलब होता है खतरनाक. Brutal means cruel, horrific. Savage can be used in terms of when you're dissing someone, या आपने किसी को diss किया या roast किया, and people often say ना that is a savage remark. You just destroyed them. That is the savage remark, and you just destroyed them with your roast. So in that context, you would use brutal. But in other context, you would say it was cruel, horrific. These are the synonyms of the word brutal. And the antonym was humane, kindly, kind. These would be the antonyms of the word brutal. Callous. Callous का मतलब होता है hard, cruel, insensitive, indifferent, not being affected very easily, lacking of emotions, lacking of sensitivity. That is what callous means. पत्थर दिल, भावना विहीन. That is what callous means. When I say this is what it means, then I'm talking about the synonyms, and when I say the opposite of the same would be, then I'm talking about the antonyms. So the antonym, the opposite word of callous, would be soft, tender, concerned, sensitive, sentimental. These all would be the antonyms of callous. Cautious. Cautious, callous, all of these are some of the words that we did in the previous lectures of synonyms and antonyms. Please see those if you haven't. It'll be of a great help. Continuing. Callous means careful. No, I'm so sorry. Cautious. Cautious means careful. Something which is done with a great care is said to be extremely cautious. सावधानी से करना, ध्यान से करना, उसको कहते हैं एहतियात बरतना. That is what cautious means. These are the synonyms of cautious. And antonym would be rash, reckless, in a very haphazard way, right? Not done with much focus, without care, carelessness would be the antonym of cautious. Censure. Censure, when used as a noun, means to condemn. But that is also how, that is exactly what it would mean if we were to use it as a verb as well, right? Both censure as a noun and verb would mean to blame, condemn, criticize. These are the synonyms of it. And the antonym would be to praise, commend, laud, applaud, right? The next word is circumscribed. Circumscribed. Cir means confined, in, around. That is what cir means. Circumscribed. It means within something, right? So if you're talking about something that is within something, then the portion is restricted. It is limited. The movement is confined. So these would be the synonyms of circumscribed: restricted, confined, limited. And the antonym would be unconfined, unrestricted, khula. The next word is civil. Civil का मतलब होता है सभ्य, civil code of conduct, the general polite usual code of conduct is referred to as the civil code of conduct, that this is how one should conduct themselves in a public setting. So civil means polite, courteous, urban, gracious, normal, general, usual, polite way to exist is known as civil. And antonyms would be rude, prude, someone who's not polite, impolite, without graciousness, ungracious, not courteous. This would be the antonym. The next word is coerce. Coerce, you must have read in the company law about coercion. Coercion means to force someone to do something. That is what coercion means. If you're forcing someone to do something and using your influence over them and making them do something without their will is known as coercion. So coerce means to compel, to force. That is what coerce means. ज़बरदस्ती कुछ करवाना, मजबूरी में करवाना, ज़बरदस्ती किसी से कुछ करवाना. That is what coerce means. And the antonym is volunteer, encourage, खुद से, स्वेच्छा से, अपनी मर्जी से कुछ करना. That is what means the antonym of coerce. The next word is compassionate. Compassionate is a feeling associated with a lot of love. Compassionate is always used in a positive connotation because compassionate means someone who is extremely sympathetic and sentimental towards others. And when you say compassionate, it encompasses all the feelings of mercy, sentiments, kindness, generosity. All of these feelings together encompass compassion. That is what compassion essentially means. So if someone is not compassionate, they are unkind, ungrateful, not generous, merciless, cruel, unsympathetic. These would be the antonyms of someone who's not compassionate. The next word is compress. Compress का मतलब होता है दबा देना, to squeeze, to condense, right? This is what compress means. Compress means to suppress, दबा देना. That would be the synonym of compress, and the antonym of it would be to lengthen, to elongate, to expand, to increase. That would be the antonym of compress. The next word is constant. Constant means एक गति से with a perpetual definitely not an increase at all times, but constant का मतलब होता है एक गति से. So constant means uniform. If you're walking at the same speed that you were with when you started walking, then you would say that I am walking at a constant speed. मैं एक ही गति से चल रहा हूँ. If you keep on changing your pace at different point of time, then you would say that I am walking at a variable speed. I am not constant. Right? So either you are walking at a uniform speed or you're walking at a variable speed. So uniform becomes the synonym of constant, and variable speed or not constant, inconstant, that would become the antonym of constant. The next word is cordial. Cordial is someone who is harmonious and who is friendly, warm and hearty. See, the words are written here. Friendly, who is very kind and warm, sweet towards people. So you're often said, na, I have cordial relations with them, right? I have warm, friendly relations with them. I don't know them, but I have cordial relations with them. Isn't that what people say often? So the antonym of the same is someone who's cold, unfriendly, stern, rude. These are all the antonyms of cordial. The next word is covert. Covert means something that is not out in the open, something that is not acknowledged or displayed किसी चीज़ को कंसील करके प्राइवेट में छुपा के रखना, दैट इज़ व्हाट कोवर्ट essentially means. So covert here mentioned is hidden and secret and concealed, disguised. These are all the synonyms of covert. Antonym would be overt, 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 open, right? Unsheltered, in public. That would be the antonym of covert. The next word is cruel. Cruel is associated with the first word of this this page that I've opened, brutal. So if you see, brutal का synonym is cruel. तो cruel का synonym में भी brutal, savage, ruthless, vicious, horrific, all of these can, someone who is insensitive, all of these can be the synonyms of cruel as well, right? And the antonym would be kind, gentle, benevolent. अब kind और benevolent, both of them mean the same thing, right? इन्होंने एक ही वर्ड को एक्सप्लेन करने के लिए उसके दो सिनोनिम्स लिख दिए. तो kind and benevolent are the same thing. Someone who is extremely kind, humane, gentle is the antonym of cruel, brutal. All these are antonyms. The next word is cursory. Cursory means something that is very quick, done in a haste, H-A-S-T-E, haste, or in a hasty way, H-A-S-T-Y, hasty way, and therefore it is not very detailed or thorough. So when you're doing something in a cursory, then you are very rapid, superficial. Superficial मतलब ऊपर ऊपर से. You're not going in details, you're not going in depth because you don't have that kind of time. So rapid, superficial, hasty, quickly, these are all the synonyms of cursory. And the antonym of same would be thorough, exhaustive, intensive, in depth. That would be the antonym of it. The next word is credible. Credible work. कहते हैं ना कि he has done some credible work. Credible का मतलब होता है believable, probable, important, something that can be seen with the eyes, or and the antonym of that would be incredible, unbelievable, fantastic. This looks a little fishy to me. Let me just credible means convincing. बस इतना करना that something seems believable. That is what credible means. Probable, plausible, that that is this work is done. But on the other hand, credible का opposite होता है incredible. मतलब बेहतरीन, अविश्वसनीय, इतना अच्छा काम करना कि विश्वास ही ना हो. So unbelievable, fantastic, that is what the antonym of credible would be. Crafty. Who are crafty people? Tell me, who are people who are called crafty? Crafty means someone who is very cunning, clever, जिसको कहते हैं चालाक, चतुर चालाक. Someone who is very sly, who is cunning, clever, is known as a crafty person. Crafty person is someone who is जो बहुत चतुर होता है, चालाक भी होता है, और उसके दिमाग में हमेशा ना खुराफात चलती है. That is someone who is very crafty. And the antonym is artless, simple, ingenuous. Ingenuous का मतलब होता है सीधा, सरल, genuine बंदा, उसको कहते हैं ingenuous. So that would be the The next word is costly. Costly is something that is very expensive. कि ये चीज़ costly is a word that is used in our day-to-day lives. When we study, we realize कि कुछ कुछ words जो हैं वो हम daily वोकेबलरी में यूज़ करते हैं, आपको वो चीज़ पढ़ने की भी ज़रूरत नहीं है, वो चीज़ बहुत ही नेचुरली आपके अंदर से आएगी. दिस इज़ वेरी कॉस्टली, दिस इज़ वेरी एक्सपेंसिव, दीज आर ऑल द वर्ड्स जो हम रोज़मर्रा की भाषा में यूज़ करते हैं. तो कोई भी चीज़ अगर महंगी है तो उसको हम क्या कहेंगे, दैट दिस इज़ वेरी कॉस्टली, एक्सपेंसिव, आउट ऑफ द बजट, राइट. And the antonym is cheap, inexpensive, economical. Those are the antonyms of costly. The next word is confidence. Confidence का मतलब होता है आत्मविश्वास. Confidence means आत्मविश्वास. So confidence का synonym is trust, reliance. रिलायंस की जगह इसमें सेल्फ रिलायंस होना चाहिए था, कि खुद पे भरोसा, खुद पे विश्वास, आत्मविश्वास, right. And trusting on your own self is what confidence means. But if you have confidence in someone else, if you say to someone that I have confidence in you and your abilities, that means you are investing your trust, your beliefs in them. आपने उनके ऊपर भरोसा दिखाया. So that is what confidence is. And the antonym is distrust, doubt, किसी पे शक होना, किसी पे भरोसा ना होना, राइट. और constant doubting, constant self criticism, these are all the antonyms of confidence. The next word, death is also a very common word. Death means demise, mrityu, that is what death means. And the antonym of death is existence, life that you are living at the moment. That is what the antonym of death is. Death का opposite होता है life, जीना मरना, जीवन मरण. Now look at the next word, dearth. Dearth is very different from death, क्योंकि उसमें एक R लग जाता है. Dearth means the inadequacy of something, not having something in adequate quantities, having the scarcity, having the lack, shortage of something. That is what dearth means. Dearth means कि किसी चीज़ की कमी होना, having scarce resources of something, scarcity of something is what dearth means. कमी होना, that is what dearth is. And the antonym of the same is plenty, abundant, in a lot of quantity, in great quantities, right. Having the abundance of a particular resource. Next word is decay. Decay का मतलब होता है सड़ जाना. Decay means सड़ जाना. So decay means to decline, decomposition, disintegration. वो चीज़ सड़ती है तो मतलब सड़ने का क्या प्रोसेस होता है कि वो सड़ने लगती है, उसमें बैक्टीरिया, फंगस, ये सब चीज़ें उसमें होने लगती हैं, तो वो छोटी छोटी क्वांटिटीज़ में ब्रेक करने लगती है, राइट. एंड ऐसी ही चीज़ें जो हैं फिर फिक जाती हैं, फिर डिज़ोल्व हो जाती हैं, मतलब एक टाइम पे वो ख़त्म हो जाती हैं. और डिक्लाइन मतलब क्वालिटी में भी डिटोरिएट कर जाती हैं, क्वालिटी में डिक्लाइन कर जाती हैं. The antonym of decay is regeneration. किसी चीज़ का पुनः जनरेशन, पुनः प्रोडक्शन होना, पुनः उत्पादन होना, पुनः वापस से उसका बनना, उसको कहते हैं regeneration. The next word is deference. This is not difference, इसमें I नहीं लगा है, इसमें लिखा है E. Deference. So look at the pronunciation and look at the spelling. Spelling is very very important. So deference means to pay your reverence, to pay your respect, to pay your gratitude to someone. That is what the meaning of deference, and that is what becomes the synonym of it. The antonym is disrespect, lack of respect, lack of reverence, irreverence is the antonym of deference. The next word is deficient. Deficient का मतलब होता है किसी चीज़ की कमी होना. कमी होना, इसको आपने सुना होगा that he has a deficiency of iron in his body. उसके शरीर में आयरन की मात्रा कम है. तो deficiency is essentially, मतलब you must have heard it is used in with the bodily nutrients, that he has a deficiency of so and so, he lacks this vitamin, this, that, and this particular thing is deficient in his body. So deficient means lacking of or inadequacy, कम होना किसी चीज़ का, उसको कहते हैं deficiency. and the antonym is complete, sufficient, abundance, adequate. Those are the antonyms of deficient. The next word is desolate. Desolate is sort of similar to isolate but not in the same sense because the context is different. But desolate का मतलब होता है lonely, isolated, deserted, अलग हो जाना, कट जाना. That is what desolate means. And the antonym of the same would be crowded, occupied, filled, full हो जाना. That is what the antonym of desolate would mean. The next word is destitute. Destitute means the longing for something. किसी चीज़ की तीव्र इच्छा होने को कहते हैं destitute. Wanting, needy, ज़रूरतमंद, ज़रूरत किसी चीज़ की अगर आपको need हो तो that is destitute. And the antonym of destitute would be rich, affluent, wealthy, abundance. किसी चीज़ का abundance अगर आपके पास हो then that would be the antonym of destitute. Diligence. Diligence means someone who is hard working. अभी अगर आप फर्स्ट वाले इस पीडीएफ के फर्स्ट पेज पे जाएंगे जहाँ वो आपको एक्सप्लेनेशन दे रहे थे, वहाँ पे पहला वर्ड सिनोनिम्स का जो था वो था डिलीजेंस. डिलीजेंस का मतलब होता है हार्ड वर्किंग. समवन हु इज़ एक्सट्रीमली फोकस्ड, हार्ड वर्किंग, उसको कहते हैं डिलीजेंट पर्सन, राइट. और डिलीजेंट का ऑपोजिट होता है आइडलनेस. हार्डली वर्किंग, हार्ड वर्किंग नहीं, हार्डली वर्किंग. डिलीजेंस का सिनोनिम तो हो गया हार्ड वर्किंग और एंटोनिम क्या हो गया, हार्डली वर्किंग. शायद ही कोई काम करता हो, इतना खाली है, आइडलनेस. दीज आर द एंटोनिम्स ऑफ डिलीजेंस. द नेक्स्ट वर्ड इज डिसग्रेस. डिसग्रेस इज टू ब्रिंग शेम अपॉन, टू ब्रिंग शेम अपॉन योर फैमिली, टू ब्रिंग शेम अपॉन एनी वन फॉर दैट मैटर. फैमिली तो मैंने ऐसे फॉर एग्जाम्पल मैं ऐसे बोल दिया फ्लो में, बट डिसग्रेस मीन्स टू ब्रिंग शेम अपॉन, dishonor, discredit. That is what disgrace means. And the antonym of the same would be to give an honor, to give credit, to give respect. That is what the antonym of disgrace would mean. Dwindle. Dwindle means to decrease, shrink, right. कम हो जाना उसको कहते हैं dwindle, dwindling. और एंटोनिम इसका होगा टू ग्रो, टू इंक्रीज, बढ़ जाना. दैट इज द एंटोनिम ऑफ ड्विंडल. द नेक्स्ट वर्ड which is the letter E is earthly. Earthly is related to the earth, to the surface of earth, and earthly means terrestrial, mundane. Mundane means boring, so I don't really know why earthly का synonym is mundane. So the synonym of earthly would be terrestrial, ज़मीन पे. and celestial means heavenly. आसमान में जो होता है उसको celestial बोलते हैं. let's complete the next two words. the next word is eligible. eligible का मतलब होता है, जैसे आपको पता ही होगा eligibility का मतलब, पेपर में आता है ना कि इस फॉर्म की एलिजिबिलिटी ये है, right. Someone who is suitable for the position. what are your qualifications that make you suitable for the position. कई एग्जाम्स की एलिजिबिलिटी होती है that you have to be a graduate. so eligibility means the minimum requirement for you to be able to sit in the examination. That is what eligibility means. and antonym would be ineligible and unsuitable. The last word for today is emancipate. Emancipate means to liberate, free someone of something. The feeling of liberation, मतलब कि किसी के उसमें नहीं, रोकने में नहीं, जो liberated हो, जो free हो, liberal हो, उसको कहते हैं emancipate. And the antonym is enslave, to work under someone or to be a slave to someone. That is what the antonym of this emancipate would be. With this, I end today's lecture. I will see you all in the very next lecture, and please keep on revising the words. Please complete the rest of the words that I haven't completed, because I'll be starting off with a new topic of vocabulary. I'm not sure which one, but I'll see which topic I want to start. But till then, I've revised more than, I would say, more than 200-250 words we've done in these past 8 lectures. I want you all to just go through those words, and not just the words. If you see the options, you have like 4-5 options, and if there's any option which is tricky in itself, कोई भी option हो जो आपको लगे कि ये option भी थोड़ा tricky है, मुझे इस शब्द का मतलब नहीं पता, तो आप अपनी तरफ से मेहनत करके गूगल पे जाइए, उस वर्ड का मतलब निकालिए, because when you search those words, it gets engraved in your memory. आपको याद रहता है कि मैंने टाइप किया था, आपको याद रहता है कि मैंने सर्च किया था, right? So in that way you can increase your vocabulary 10 times, a minimum of 10 times before the exam comes, right? So good luck with your preparation. I will see you all the next time. Bye bye.